calm before the storm. Things aren't as they were before. You best start bracing. Did you think you could keep us out? Shut the gates, forget us now. Tides are changing. Can you hear the sound? Can't stop us now. We're not back in town, know what we're doing. Things are about to change, it's evolution. Voices shake the ground, you feel it moving. We're the revolution. Can you hear the sound? Ground beneath your feet, with a whisper in the tree. Do you feel us watching? Hunger in our eyes, victories on our minds. It's our time to rise. Can you hear the sound? Can't stop us now. We're not back in town, know what we're doing. Things are about to change, it's evolution. Voices shake the ground, you feel it moving. We're the revolution. Can you hear the sound? Don't know what we're doing. Things are about to change, it's evolution. Voices shake the ground, you feel it moving. We're the revolution.
About how you were with my parents, yeah, and changed their mind. Cause you were sweet and looking like you cared, boy, that was hard to find. I caught feelings, how could these feelings? I caught feelings, how could these feelings? I caught feelings, I caught feelings, how could these feelings? I caught feelings, I caught feelings, how could these feelings? When I'm with you, yeah, nothing really matters. Don't need money or time. I got feelings, I got those feelings. I got feelings, I got those feelings. I got feelings, I got feelings, I got these feelings. Those feelings, I got feelings, I got those feelings. Got these feelings.
Feelings. It's like I can't walk on the ceiling. Oh yeah, got me dreaming, dreaming in colors I never dreamed in. Oh yeah, I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed. Skipping out, no, I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh. Magic. No, I'm never letting go. Now that I have it with you. When you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed. Skipping out, no, I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, yeah, you take me higher, baby.
Drama. Yeah, I've been running and running to keep it 100. It's all that I wanted, but lately I don't get the stomach. The higher the summit, the harder the plummet. They know me all over this planet. I'm just a man and I can't understand it. Proud that I win and I did it myself. Probably wouldn't if I got the help. Hearing subliminals all on myself. Feel like I'm breaking, I'm falling to hell. Told me I'm sick and I tell her, oh well. Rather be dead than to know that I failed. Live for the chase, life is a race. I'm out of space, I'ma get on my face. I got a taste, well the whole plate. Finna get laced if you step out of place. Like, first off, you don't run nothing. All talking, your team bluffing. My squad, we all dream crushing. We ain't rushing, no discussion. All I know is us made for this. Paid for this, yeah, I slaved for this. Been down and I'ma get it right. Get on sight like. Been down and I'ma get it right. Get on sight like. Been down and I'ma get it right. Get on sight like. Never really know when you're gonna go. Why you gotta put another foot in front of yours? Bury them toes, carry them close. I was never one to care about my mentos. I was like froze, now I'm on floor. Give me that smoke, but I can't get high. We do the most, here to inspire. Doing what I'm supposed, but I can't get tired. Run for your life every night. See in the dark, blind by the light. I got the spark, I got the pipes. All of my arts coming to life. Had to face my fears while I chased my peers, and I found my spot. About time that I found myself. I've been out here walking that walk. Like, first off, you don't run nothing. All talking, your team bluffing. My squad, we all dream crushing. We ain't rushing, no discussion. All I know is I was made for this. Paid for this, yeah, slave for this. Been down and I'ma get it right. Dead on sight like... First off, you don't run nothing. All talking, your team bluffing. My squad, we all dream crushing. We ain't rushing, no discussion. All I know is I was made for this. Paid for this, yeah, slave for this. Been down and I'ma get it right. Dead on sight like... Down and I'ma get it right. Dead on sight like... Been down and I'ma get it right. Dead on sight like...
There's a place where you can run free. Time does not exist. Take a chance when the road before us falls under our face. I can't hold on. I can't remain so strong. We have the same old bond, but everything is wrong. My love is gone, but I've been born. I can't make it on my own. When I'm alone, my love is gone. My love is gone, but I've been born. I can't make it on my own. When I'm alone, my love is gone. My love is... There's a place where you can run free. Time does not exist. Take a chance when the road before us falls under our face. I can't hold on. I can't remain so strong. We have the same old bond, but everything's wrong. My love is gone, but I've been born. I can't break it on my own. When I'm alone, my love is gone. My love is gone, but I've been born. I can't break it on my own. When I'm alone, my love is gone. My love is... My love is...
At Hydro One, Hello, 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 hello. We are back once again. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the LRS Draft. We are in a very special week because it's week 10, our final week of regular season, and we have a couple of banger matches, as always, here for you ready tonight. But my name is Gurf, and I will be your caster, analyst, host extraordinaire for you tonight. And of course, I can't do it by myself. I'm joined by Dream. How are you doing tonight?
Back again on the caster desk. Gotta love doing this.
Yes, sir. We are back once again. And there are a couple of scenarios that I just want to run through you with before we actually hop into this first game of the day, which is going to be Vipers Unicorns. Well, we've got a couple scenarios here because there are some close numbers here in terms of standings. Looking at the matches, what we're seeing tonight, first on air, the Vipers. Right now, they are sitting in that first place spot. They are head-to-head right now with the Spartans 2-2. So, if Spartans can go 2-0 tonight and Vipers go 1-1, we will potentially have a tiebreaker for that first place spot. As well, there are other situations here. If Lions go 2-0, Unicorns go 0-2, there'll be a tiebreaker for that last spot into the playoffs. So that is actually a super key one that we got to watch out for. Lions need to win both their games tonight in order to do that. However, if Unicorns go 2-0 and Tigers go 1-0, I'm not too sure about the head-to-head on there. I think Unicorns might actually be ahead, but that would be enough for them to get in that third place seed as well too. However, that's a lot of hypothesizing, a lot of what ifs. We just got to see what is actually on this on the table here for tonight, and we're going to bring it up for you here and show you guys who's playing. Over on the Viper side, Roverai up in the top lane, Karthik, 002 in the jungle, Benji in the mid lane along with Juanito Soul and Awesome Sheep, the rap god himself, in the bot lane for Vipers. On the Unicorn side, we have Stone Kit Kat in the top lane, Jesus in the jungle, Attacks in 2 mid lane, GKP as ADC, and Lil Azur as the support. But looking like a good night, Dream.
Yeah, definitely. And just adding a little bit, we do have to confirm, this has been confirmed for a little bit now. The downside, unfortunately, Phantoms will not be making it to playoffs. I believe, unless the league is small enough for Phantoms to make it to playoffs regardless. You might know more about that. This is a rather small group of people, small group of teams, so maybe all of them make it to playoffs and Phantoms have a chance to upset everybody, but
I believe
you would know better than I do.
The top 4 that make it to the playoffs here, since it is a much smaller league. So we are only going to be seeing those top 4, and right now it is the the Vipers, Spartans, Tigers, Unicorns in that order for those top 4 positions. However, just a little bit of a switch up here to the lineup. It's actually going to be a Taxon coming in as the ADC here in game number 1, GKP going into the mid lane. But we do have this draft started off. Nunu and Udi are going to be the first bans here of the night. And I mean, we did get to see the Teemo last week for LTS, so I wouldn't doubt if that's a ban on someone's radar here for tonight. But
yeah, I mean. Yeah, I could see it, but that was also the top team in LTS versus, I believe, the last place team in LTS. So there's a reason why Teemo was allowed to be played in that game and why it did so well. But it's not going to be the Teemo. We are going to see a Swain ban here, Hecarim being banned away as well. I'm actually surprised Tristana and Seraphine still have not yet hit the board. We still got 2 bans left, so interested to see if the priority goes to those 2 bans, or if they try to force Unicorns to ban one of those 2 out. It is going to be the Senna ban here, so they have a few options for bans here. It is actually going to be the Camille Hover, which does leave open the Seraphine for the first pick if Vipers want it. Tristana is open as well, and as I say this, Seraphine is going to be hovered, so is the Heimerdinger for you.
Hey, let's go, boys.
They probably will not pick the Heimerdinger. The Seraphine is open. I do expect them to pick Seraphine here. Yeah, it is going to be the Seraphine. Unicorns now have a chance to pick up the Tristana, but still, that is a Seraphine, and we know what happens if a Seraphine gets ahead in the game. It's kind of GG for the other side.
It is, honestly, such a scary pick with her heal. I was actually doing a little reading today. There might be something a little wonky with her heal, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that with just the way her passive works around basically anytime she pops a spell, somebody's getting healing is kind of what I was looking at. But I'll have to do a little bit more digging to see how those numbers actually work out. But Corki coming through next. I think this would be a good pick if they send this in the mid lane for GKP, just having that ADC experience, and Corki being a nice strong mid AD pick right now. So they're going to have to lock in now because a little bit past time, but I'm pretty sure that is what shall be the pick here for them. They just got to press a button. Press a button. There we go.
There we go. They might have just forgotten that they didn't press it. Entirely possible.
I'm not going to say I've never done that before, where I'm like, I've got my pick, I'm ready to go, and I'm sitting back in the lobby once again. I'm like, oh no, I didn't press the button.
I actually really like the Braum pick. I'm not entirely sure. Does Braum's shield stop Seraphine ultimate from passing him?
I want to say yes, because it does tend to stop those extended ranged attacks, right?
I think it depends whether or not if Seraphine's ultimate is considered a laser effect, because Braum's shield does not block laser effects. So if it is just a regular ultimate, like Ziggs Bomb, which can be blocked by Braum, or anything else like that, then the Seraphine might be in a little bit of trouble with the Braum here. And I actually was watching LCK a few days ago, and there was the casters were making a joke about when people play Seraphine, there's a very specific item that literally counters her entire kit, and for some reason LCK players seem to be under the assumption that it doesn't exist. The item is called Serpent's Fang. If there's a Seraphine on the enemy team and you build Serpent's Fang, then Seraphine is irrelevant because all those shields mean nothing, because they take bonus damage, or they do bonus damage against people that are shielded. So
I mean, there's definitely some picks you can look for. The Rel has a shield break from her Q as well too. You could even look to pick up that Renekton, another one of those champs. But it is going to be the Olaf and the Jhin for the Vipers as their B2, B3. I think the Jhin for Juanito Sol, we've seen it before. It's one of his comfort picks, one of his specialties, so that is going to be very nice. And the Olaf, can never go wrong with that. Strong for team fights, strong for cutting through whatever CC throwing at him. So we're going to see that.
Definitely synergizes. Yeah, and definitely synergizes very, very well with the Seraphine too. You need to be a little careful for the side of Unicorns. They do have a few ways to kind of slow this Viper unit squad for running them down. The Kai'Sa is going to be hovered here, but they are going to swap over to the Sivir. It is going to most likely be a Sivir Braum in the bot lane, unless I mean, we've been seeing some we saw it yesterday with the Sivir mid lane, but I do not think pairing Corki with Braum in the bot lane against a Jhin is the correct play. I don't think I've seen a Corki 80 carry in the bot lane for about 4 or 5 seasons now.
It's been a long time for sure. But you know, that Sivir does offer some nice. It's a nice safety net too. You can kind of sit in the bottom, you can farm away, you can get scaled up. And this Braum is just there as an extra thing to say, hey, no, you don't get to dive right now. You don't get to take my ADC off this map. We are just here to farm it up. And if anybody steps up to them, though, if they look to engage, that Braum is really good for peeling back and throwing down some CC of his own as well. So that's something I also want to bring up, is that the fact that the level 1 cheese with Braum is definitely a possibility here. If you look for those invades level 1, you get either an auto for Braum or his Q down onto somebody. It's enough for the rest of your team to follow up and get that CC down. So at minimum, you're going to be blowing a flash. At maximum, you're going to be pulling the first blood in for yourself. So maybe we see something like that as Unicorns going for their last ban right now. It's going to be Victor taken off the board.
Yeah, really targeting that mid lane pool. I guess they assume that it's going to be a Jhin Seraphine bot lane. Not the best assumption to make. Jhin Seraphine isn't exactly the best lane pairing. They do have the long range CC, but it is a little bit difficult to walk up and actually put on some extra damage onto the chain CC that Seraphine Jhin can put up if there's a Braum in the way. Unless that person is, of course, Braum, and Sivir can very easily dodge out of those skill shots, and it is going to be a Jarvan. Now, Jarvan is very, very good at locking down champions, and if he happens, one of the examples here is Olaf is immune to CC, right? Well, he's not immune to being walled in.
That's true.
So
he can't bust through the walls. He can deal with all the CC that gets thrown at him. But if you trap him in a little pit, well, guess what? He's got nowhere to go. So that's actually kind of smart here from Unicorn to pick that up. So, I mean, when you get down to those dragon fights or baron fights too, to have that ability to take your jungler out of a fight, well, that's exactly what the Vipers are thinking as they pick up the Mordekaiser. Can do the exact same thing right back to Jarvan, except you're taking them to a different realm altogether. And Anivia to round out the pick. So that is actually a lot of AoE control that they're going to be bringing to this game. You and I have seen a couple Anivias in the past week or so, and when they get going, oh my goodness, the damage that is possible, and the fact that we get to see it in the hands of Benji is going to be a really, really great time there for the Vipers too. So,
yeah, I really am confused that we see Anivia very, very, very common in LAS, LRS, and LTS play here. But it's strange that the people that are even higher up, the pro players, I don't think I've seen it in Anivia this entire split in any region. And it's really weird because this champion is so strong at just locking choke points out. Like, if they're going for a dragon and Anivia happens to be there, she can wall off one section and then put her ultimate on the other section, and they just get the dragon for free.
Yeah, kind of crazy. But we are going to... I'm just waiting on a couple of the players to come back here. But while we are waiting, Sir Andros has redeemed the token raffle here. So I know it might say 500, but I've got 1,001 ready to go. So we are going to pop that up and have that go. Make sure to enter in with raffle. And we will announce our winner after game number 1 when we come back from our break. So you got lots of time to enter in onto that. But Dream, looking at these two teams, we got the final pick here in the form of the Silas. Most likely going to see that go up towards the top lane into the Mordekaiser. How are we thinking about that matchup there?
The Silas into the Mordekaiser, I do think that it is going to be a very hard skill matchup for both of these. I do believe, like most other top lane matches, it does favor the Mordekaiser very slightly because of the burn damage that Mordekaiser put up. And once Kingslayer is burned, if he's not so Silas has his Kingslayer, but the shield from Mordekaiser is basically the same thing. So it's a very volatile matchup that can go either way. I just think it's slightly Mordekaiser favored.
And yeah, we'll just wait for these players to come back, and then we will get to lock into the client. So guys out there, make sure to check your tokens before predictions open. They are not quite open yet. You will see you'll see the text come up on your screen. You'll see that show up when I have them open again. But we'll wait for our players to get back, be ready, sitting down, and lock this team in. But I think from what we're seeing, we have a good idea of where these champions are going to be going. You were saying before that Jhin Seraphine might not be the best matchup. It is definitely on the squishier side. They are going to have to be playing a little safer, but the amount of poke that can come out of those two is pretty insane. And the fact that any of that Seraphine poke, if Seraphine's able to get those extended ranged autos off as well too, is enough to set up Needle Soul for those deadly flourishes, which is really, really good for getting that lockdown early. Then, Seraphine can follow up with her E as well too. It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with if they get caught. But we are locking into client right now, so let's see where everybody's going. But I think we have a pretty solid idea of what's happening here in this game.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see any unique things coming out. I do believe it's just going to be standard. Probably the top lane Silas, the jungle Jarvan, the mid lane Corki, AD carry Sivir, support Braum, versus the top lane Mordekaiser, jungle Olaf, mid lane Anivia, AD carry Jhin, support Seraphine. I don't think we're going to see anything too crazy come out yet. It isn't playoffs for these teams yet. We don't get to see craziness happen until the playoffs start happening, apparently, because unless we're watching LTS, because those teams are crazy as hell.
Give it one more week, and we get to see all the crazy stuff these teams have been saving up for playoffs. But for the Vipers tonight, they are sitting in that first place spot already. Even if they go 0-2 tonight, I think they're still guaranteed at least second place. So they are secured. They are feeling good. They are fine. All Unicorns need to do tonight is win at least one, and they've got their 4th place seed secured. So they need one of these games here tonight, and then they are up against the number 1 team and then the number 3 team after this game here. So hopefully they can find a win here, but Unicorns have been looking so good in the latter half of this split. They have just found their footing and found their team synergy. I mean, back at the beginning of the split, it was a bit of an attacks show, but now at this point, I can confidently say all these members of Unicorns are playing top notch. I love what they're bringing out. I love what they bring to the table as a team. But over on the Vipers too, we got some really strong players. Rover Eye up in the top lane, right? Benji in the mid lane have kind of been those 2 major names that we look out for taking those 1v1 fights, for looking for those solo plays.
I want to pause you for a second.
Yes.
Is that an Olaf top and a Mordekaiser jungle?
Oh, it might be a trade when we see that. They might might have oopsied the Olaf, but if we see it traded to Karthik there, that would be interesting for sure. Okay.
Olaf would definitely have a significant advantage over the Sylas because, well, his passive does what Kingslayer does, except constantly. So.
Yeah, that's this could be an interesting one for sure. I don't believe I've seen an Olaf top in.
I've seen it a few times this split with the new items, though it's still very, very rare. Olaf hasn't been a dedicated top laner in maybe 3 or 4 seasons at the very least. When he first came out, he was definitely geared for a top lane. But the meta ever shifting. Always leaving the AD carry on the wayside. Olaf has switched over to that jungle role.
Yes. And we are going to get the final lock in here. So it is the Braum as that support. And I'll keep an eye on this. Yeah, there we go. See? Switched on over. But we do have these picks going through. And now that the picks are locked in, I know everyone was getting excited there in chat. But we are going to open those predictions. As you can see, it's not a Greg support. We got to go fix that up. I might have mucked up my my overlays a bit, but it's fine. We'll clean those up. You guys get those predictions in while I am cleaning this up. But what do you think on this first game here, Dream? Who's taking the win?
I definitely think that the Unicorns have drafted a very hit and run skirmish type composition that is able to 5v5 team fight if needed. However, the other side, they have also drafted a composition that's more around the skirmishes, but has a much stronger 5v5 team fight, because you get a Seraphine ultimate with Olaf running at you, and if the Seraphine ults you into a Nivea's ultimate, it's kind of doomed at that point. And Dragons, Barons, Rift Heralds are also going to be very, very dangerous, because Rover Eye on that Mordekaiser there can just press R on the Jarvan, and now there's no chance of a steal or a secure for the Jarvan. And it can just end up being Olaf taking it or stealing it for free, because Mordekaiser just has that power over somebody.
Yeah, at least, with the Cataclysm, you're able to flash out of that. You are still technically in the Prime Material realm. But you, when you're taken away by that Mordekaiser, yeah, that is going to make these Dragon and Baron secures a lot more difficult for the side of Unicorns. However, the Sylas, I think, was a smart pickup, because being able to steal away that Mordalt, yeah, gives you another option too. So it's a Cataclysm and the I believe it's the Death Realm that Unicorns are going to have, plus the...
They can't... I would normally agree with you, but Sylas can't do the same thing to Olaf, because Olaf's Ragnarok will pull him out of Death Realm immediately.
Yes, that's also true, but at least you'll be able to take out one of these members. That Olaf is kind of a nice caveat there to say, no CC, please, very much. I would like this dragon. No, thank you. Please back off. This is my dragon. But I think that's kind of the attitude that these teams want to come into this game for, is we don't want to share resources. We don't want to give up any pressure whatsoever, because these are 2 very strong teams that we have here. A lot of damage on both. And a lot of scaling that I think we're going to see coming through, I think, for both teams as well. So early game and mid game might be a little bit more on the slow side for us here, but once we hit late game, that's where a lot of these main builds are coming through. That's where a lot of the damage of this game is going to be showing up. So I expect to see a very, very spicy late game for this one.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, I'm just messaging my cousin. Who's messaging me while I'm casting. Anywho. But yeah, these team compositions, Corki is actually going to be a pretty good champion into the Anivia. We've seen a lot of champions that have dashes to try and get away from the Anivia. Corki is one of those champions that has a way to get away from the Anivia, but also has a way to close in on the Anivia. However, it doesn't have any form of CC to stop the Anivia ulti, like we would prefer. However, there is plenty of CC from the side of Unicorns to be able to stop this Anivia from using her ultimate to either zone or just be a nuisance in general, or just put out damage. As we are about to go into spectator delay, so I do believe we're going to a short break.
Yep.
We will see you guys in a few moments.
Yep, we'll be back soon. Make sure to keep getting those predictions in. We'll be back on the Rift in a second.
I saw you smile from across the bar. Yeah, she was pretty and so close but so far. She flipped her hair and I thought this can't be true. How does a man like me get someone like you? And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes. This can't be real, my head's telling me lies. Just like that, you're coming closer to me. Come shake me, grab me, so I wake up from this dream. I can't breathe, come at me. I don't know if I can speak. Then she said, come with me and let's be free.
Hello, and welcome back to week 10 of the LRS Draft. We've got Unicorns on the red side, Vipers on the blue, and a very important game number 1 of the night, because Unicorns need at least one here to make sure they are cemented in to their playoff spot. But Vipers, they could go 0-2 tonight, still end up in that second place spot, still go for that first match, that match A of the playoffs. But we're seeing potentially some shenanigans here up in the top lane from the Vipers, as oh no, Stone Kick Cat is going to spot him out and immediately start to turn around, but Nivea's Sun just going to be a little short, so nothing other than some pressure found here. The flag will come down and hit Karthik a bit, but he's got some axes as well too, so.
Ooh, we might get a 5v5. Everybody's up here.
Oh yeah, here we go. This is the level 1 shenanigans we were thinking about, but oh, it's going to be a little exchange of damage there. One Needle Soul taking that boomerang blade, but everyone's going to back off. No kills, no summoners exchange, so we'll go right back to our standard start here.
Yeah, nothing really burned from either side, honestly. The Olaf starting Q, fairly standard. I prefer starting W just because of the attack speed lifesteal. But the Guardian is probably going to be back up for the bot lane here. Before they get back to lane here, yeah, it should be. It's about halfway there. They won't have it initially. And look how far back the Corkis play. He's giving respect already as the top lane is always going to go in Mordekaiser's favor at level 1 because three auto attacks or abilities, and you just lose any trade.
I know that electrocute is honestly ridiculous. So that's definitely smart of GKP to respect that kind of damage that bench is going to come out. However, we say that and we cast our curses so fast. There goes half his health bar. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was really hoping for him to play a little bit safely. Not going to burn the potion here. Doesn't think he needs it, and going to use the spell shield to get some mana back from the grenade from Jin is going to feel a little bit nice. Sever mana issues is your #1 villain in the early game. It's really depressing when you get a good engage from the Braum or any of your other supports and you don't have any mana to fight back, as a lot of damage going down onto Little Azir here. Guardian is going to absorb a little bit of that, but he now has to burn one of his potions. And they are going to get the push on this lane, though.
Yeah, keep an eye up top, though, because Jesus is making his way on in. The flag and drag on the Rover Eye. You're in so much trouble, buddy. The shield comes up. The flash on out, but is it enough? Karthik has shown up to help escort his top laner out, and Stone Kit Kat, Jesus are going to have to back off away from this one, but back down in the mid lane, Corki is potentially roaming out of this as well. In the bot, we have some more exchange of damage going down on Lulazor. Nice spell shield there to block that deadly flourish from Needle Soul, but let's keep an eye up here on the top side of the jungle as you still got numbers.
We have a redeemed get a shout out from the casters from Dallas.
Dallas, what's up, buddy? Thank you for the shout out or the redemption there. As Rover Eye, hold on a second there, Dallas. We're gonna have to put your shout out on hold, but oh my goodness, crazy game and a legendary player redeeming the shout out. So thank you, Dallas, for that.
Yeah, go ahead and get your Dallas diff emotes in while you can. Definitely a Dallas diff last night, if any of you guys are here, and a lot of you guys were. We actually had a pretty high showing. About 50 of you guys were here last night for most of the games. I was here for all 5 of them, so I should know how many of you guys were here watching that. And games 4 and 5 was definitely a Dallas diff with set popping off there, as those here hiding a little bit here might be able to.
He's trying to find it. The exhaust is coming down, and so is Jesus, but that's going to be the exchange of the flash. A little Azure having to back on off that ignite. Almost ticks him down, but this is nice of the Vipers to get away from this. But you gotta be aware now that Jin's flash is down. Jarvan is definitely a high ganking champion, so we'd expect him to be back down in the bot lane fairly soon, considering that this Cloud Drake is now spawned onto the map. So we got to keep an eye on who's going to be making the plays onto these Dragons first, and what kind of soul we're going to see this game. We still have to wait for number 2, and then we can start to use our chart or use our amazing big brains here that we've been casting with this split, if you want to call them that. Sarcasm. sometimes my brain is just totally out of it, but we got to be on point here, because like I said, big games tonight here. We do get the double unicorns lineup, so we'll get to see them after this game as well too. And looking like Lil Azura has made the rotation up top very early, gonna get the sun down onto Rover Eye and trying to make it out. Shield's coming up again, but will it be enough? I think this might be a little bit of a tough situation, but he's looking for the trade. He's able to get the first blood down on the Little Azure, and Stone Kit Kat is in some trouble, has to dash away there to escape the Mordekaiser Q. And this is one of the players we were talking about coming into this game. Rover Eye, definitely one of those scarier top laners, and you got to keep your eye out for him and what he can do.
Yeah, that was you got to feel really bad about that, because you have Lil Azure on that Braum roam all the way to the top lane, and for him to be the one that dies, yeah, he gets a faster reset to go back down bot. But this is just putting a very hard deficit onto this Sylas here. He has 13 CS to 47. And it looks like he's just going to get dove here.
A little bit of back and forth here around the tower. Karthik not quite going for it yet. Nobody's taking that turret damage quite yet, but in they go. They finally decide to commit, and Karthik's actually going to have to flash out. He's going to get taken down by the turret. Stone Kit Kat picks up the kill. He also picks up that Mordekaiser ulti, but seeing the Olaf go down on the other side of the map, Unicorns immediately decide to jump onto this first Drake of the game. Means a little bit of extra ulti cooldown for them, but into the Death Realm they go, and I believe it was Stone Kit Kat who initiated. Wait a minute, both their ults are down. Did they go double Death Realm there?
Yeah, I think what ended up happening there was Roverai uses his ultimate first, steals the stats, and then steals the 7% stats that he gets from the Sylas there. And then because Sylas uses his ultimate second, which is also the Death Realm, he's not only getting his 7% back, but also getting 7% of Roverai's stats there. Yeah, so he's basically getting getting stronger because of how far ahead this Mordekaiser is. Like, he's gonna go back. He gets 2 kills there, and still down in gold. But now the Mordekaiser, he has the Oblivion Orb. It is going to be a little bit harder for Stone Kit Kat to actually do winning trades here, because Kingslayer is not going to be as effective, and he will not be able to steal the Mordekaiser ult this next time around.
Yeah, it's almost just insert the Spider-Man pointing at each other meme right there. That's kind of the situation that you get yourself in when the Sylas hijacks your ult away there. But taking a look on the map, we have a mountain up in 3 minutes 40 seconds, and I think Cloud in the mountain means we're going to be seeing an Ocean Soul this game. Honestly, for both teams, but I would think more so for the Vipers. They are going to be wanting to get that soul this game. The healing that'll come through from Mordekaiser, and the Olaf is kind of insane. And the fact that you have a Seraphine who is already flexing into that, well, not flexing, already building into that Moonstone means you guys are gonna, well, Unicorns are gonna have a very hard time trying to take them out, especially in those extended fights.
Yeah, definitely, and you're starting to see, unfortunately, because the first blood goes over to the side of Vipers there, but then it's Responder with 2 more kills. There is a very slight gold lead, despite those 2 kills going to the side of Vipers, and that's mainly due to the CS difference in the top lane. It's only about 400 gold, which is the difference between these 2 champions here. So that entire gold lead is in the top side of the map. As we see them going for another engagement here, Roverai definitely wins out of that one, having to burn 2 of the potions there. Oblivion Orb putting in a lot of work. Stone Kit Kat not healing nearly as much as before. Jarvan is hovering on the top side of the map, though. And Corki is going to be ganked here. Not much going to happen there because Corki can just fly his way out of there.
Yep, a little Valkyrie to give himself back to safety, not too much stress. Ooh, Juanita's Soul actually going to have to burn the flash there. I think that was mostly out of respect, because if that Braum is able to get onto you, especially the fact that his exhaust is back up, you got to be aware of how fast Braum could slow you down. I know that's a bit of an oxymoron, but yeah, if he gets on top of you, it's really hard to get out of that situation, and Sivir's just going to be flying in with a bunch of damage to follow up onto it. But we do see that Jesus has started up this Herald. I'm curious to see what lane he's going to decide to take that to, but on the other side of the map, Karthik is floating around here, but actually heading back into his jungle, or maybe a little undecided on whether or not he wants to gank this bot side right now. Lilizur stepping up, that Deadly Flourish is going to go a little wide, but that Charm not quite caught up by the shield. He was a little bit wide of it, but a triple Glacial Fissure here is not going to be enough. Braum will drop down, but attacks him, getting the trade kill on Awesome Sheep there. Boomerang Blade coming through. Is he going to be able to find another? No, it's a double kill for Karthik. Nicely done by the Vipers. 2 for 1 for them. And now on the top side of the map, Corki comes through with the package, GKP there, but there's not much he can do because Roverai is taking Stone Kit Kat into the Delx realm. There's nowhere to go. He flashes out of that cube, and now you got 3 members of the Vipers up here. Cataclysm comes down to lock down the Mordekaiser, and there's nowhere to go. Stone Kit Kat to clean it up.
Yeah, and that's going to be a killing spree for this Sylas here. Not doing very well in the CSing department, down about 43 CS there, but he has 3 kills, and he's about to get this Rift Herald influx of gold, so he's actually going to get quite a bit of money. Actually going to be just enough to put him under 100 gold beneath the Mordekaiser there. That's going to be feeling really nice, because now he is going to be able to go back. He just buys a Blasting Wand and a Kendall Gem. I do believe that's going to be the Everfrost coming out for Stone Kit Kat.
Yep, pretty strong item right now too, and I mean, for what the unicorns are looking to go for with that slow, especially with the Braum, with the Cataclysm from the Jarvan, right? If you have a little bit of extra slow in your kit as well too, especially on a dive-heavy champ like the Sylas, having someone get into that back line and slow everybody down is really advantageous. However, Viper's the first ones to rotate onto this Dragon, so they're going to pick themselves up a Mountain Drake, and we do see the Ocean Soul coming through. Dream, we are the chart now. We are the chart.
I don't even need to look at the chart anymore. We're just right most of the time. Just taking a look at the map state here, as we see Stone KitKat is going to ult the Mordekaiser, and he is way stronger than Rover is capable of dealing with right now, I think. Maybe?
Let's see.
Nope,
Nope, they just back on off. Nothing, not too much going to be exchanged there, but it is scary, the damage that is coming out from both those top laners. They are going to be the heaviest hitters, I think, in these mid-game fights, because they are probably, I would say, the strongest at this point in the game, considering that these ADCs tend to come online around 2-3 items. But right now, yeah, Sylas and Mordekaiser, scary, scary boys up there in that top lane.
Yeah, and something I want to bring attention to, the gold, if you want to go ahead and give a look really quick to everybody for the gold, you know how to do that, right?
It's already up. Already up there, baby.
If you want to everyone wants to take a look really quick, you'll see that it's not even the top lane that's the one that's so far ahead of everybody. It's this Olaf. Has a significant lead over his jungle opponent there. 2 kills to his name. And he has already finished the Stridebreaker versus the Turbo Chem tank from the Jarvan as well. It's going to be very, very hard to actually kill this Olaf, especially in this early game. He doesn't need the Gore Drinker. Stridebreaker did get nerfed, but he seems to just be doing perfectly fine with it.
Oh yeah, and that's why you see, we just saw on the stream too, that Nivea was gifted the blue buff as well too. Olaf's like, you know what, I'm ahead. You can take this and go have a fun time in the mid lane. Actually, both the mid laners have a blue buff on them right now, so this is going to be a lot of abilities being spammed, I think, between the Corki and the Nivea in the next few minutes. But let's keep an eye on Karthik right now, as he is kind of hovering around the mid and bot side. Not too sure where he's going to head right now, but he definitely knows from earlier it's not the easiest lane to gank with that Corki, just using his Valkyrie to escape. So he's got to go find something else to do, because the bot side of Unicorn's also reset. But we got another top lane fight breaking out. Jesus has returned, but into the 12th round they both go. Stone KitKat trying to get out, but the invisible barrier's there. He's got nowhere to go right now, trying to dip and dash his way on out of there, but out of the realm they come. Cataclysm will come down, and the healing will keep Stone KitKat just barely alive, as Rover will fall once again in that top lane. Cheese is doing great for the rotations, but take a look at this in the mid lane. Benji trying to find some, but GKB looking to go back on in. He's going to put Benji into that egg form, but not going to want to rotate too far into this. Karthik also running away from a bit of a situation here, as Benji comes back on out of egg form to save him up. However, Taxon going to have to use that Gale Force to get on out of the I know this one. Glacial Storm. We know this. I've been practicing remembering those ults.
Yeah, and something I do want to note there is you saw Karthik go for the Blast Cone, and then he remembered, wait, I'm in my ultimate. I can't use the Blast Cone, so he had to flash over the wall. Ends up having to burn his flash there. You saw he maybe was trying to wait for his Ragnarok to time out there so he could Blast Cone over the wall and save his flash, but if he stayed there even a moment longer, he was probably just going to end up dead. Giving away that shutdown over to Ataxin would not have been in his best interest there.
However, here comes
as we do see, he's coming back down here.
Yeah, he's back again.
He doesn't have ulti or flash.
No, this is a really good peel so far by Karthik, and yes, the shield does block up the ult from Seraphine, but it will be Lilzer going down. TP from Stone KitKat to get on in here, but here comes the curtain call. Ataxin has got nowhere to go. Stone KitKat's going to have to block up this final shot for him as well, too. Nicely done by them. They will lose the Braum, but a return curtain call from the Sylas. Going to be able to get a little bit of damage off here on the Rover, but not anything too significant, as Jarvan's going to get CC'd a little bit up here by Awesome Sheep. Just firing over some nice poke on the other side of this wall, as we do have, I believe, Another Dragon coming up in 30 seconds, and this is the Oceans that we're going to start to see. Definitely something that the Vipers want to pick up this game.
Yeah, both teams 101 dragons, so whoever gets these dragons will get 3 of them. As the Corki, he has the package. He can really split this fight.
And he goes across the
and
entire
that's exactly what
side
he's going to do.
of the Vipers. Cycling Storm in the back, keeping him out of this fight as it's a 4v4 in the jungle, but it's the members of the Unicorns coming out on top. Shut down, going on over to GKP, and only one member left. It's Rovereye trying to fight off 4 members of the Unicorns, but he's not going to be able to. That math just doesn't work out quite yet. So Unicorns find themselves an ace here at 17 minutes and going to grab their second Drake of the game.
It is going to be the Legends ace there, and they are going to just leave 2 people there and rotate over to the Rift Herald as the Corki goes ahead. Just goes ahead and takes the mid lane tower here. Should be able to get it. So they're going to get 3 objectives here and a 1 team fight. It's going to put them significantly in the lead here.
This is
they
so
can
much tempo for them. This is ridiculous. Like you said, Dragon, Herald, and that tier 1 mid tower. This is incredible for the Unicorns at this point in the game, because this is going to open up the map for them and potentially get another big Herald push for them as well.
Yeah, and the only thing left alive as far as our turrets is going to be the outer bot lane tower, which you see Silas has pushed in a rather substantial wave in, but Anivia's there, makes substantial waves, mean absolutely nothing. Oh, look, there it goes. It's gone. And this Anivia, we were praising Anivia before the game started. It hasn't really panned out at 0, 1, and 0. This is probably the weakest scoreline we've seen of the Anivia players in the past few days that we have seen Anivia's in.
And I think that we can definitely say that's from GKP respecting the hell out of what Benji can do. We've seen him on those AP champions. He is very scary when it comes to burst. So respecting both the player and the champion that he has this game, I think is a big reason why we see Corki with a low deathline and Benji with not a lot of kills. But this is also another issue, is that you're not going to get away from this. The Glacial Fissure comes through to lock down the Anivia, and a kill gifted on over 2 attacks. And so that's 4-1 for the Sivir, but in the mid lane, we got more fights going down. Cataclysm down on the Wind Needle Soul. You got nowhere to go as the Jhin. Another kill picked up for Unicorns, 2-0 on the map, and they are 12-4 in total kills as Stone Kit Cat's still fishing for some more on the side.
Yeah, he probably could have gone fully into that. Probably doesn't want to go into a Stridebreaker Olaf, though, but he definitely could have. He did have his ultimate up. He could have stolen the Ragnarok if he really wanted to. Or if he got close enough, could have stolen the Seraphine ultimate. A lot of good ultimates for Silas to steal in this game. We didn't really touch upon that. Was more concerned about the top lane matchup. And because of the assistance that he's been getting, he's still down close to... has about half the CS of the Mordekaiser, but he's sitting on he's 602, so he has about a 700 gold lead. The fact that it's only 700 and it's against a 1-4 champion, all that Rift Herald's going to do is get some damage on the bot lane tower, but it is 3 turrets to nothing, and it's about a 4,000 gold lead for the side of, or about 3,500 gold lead, excuse me, for the side of Unicorns here. And for a team that is playing more of a skirmish composition but can team fight, they are doing both very, very well. You saw the Anivia tried to start a fight with the Sivir, got caught out and killed, and then the same thing happened when Silas and Jarvan got onto the Jhin. Unfortunately, Jhin doesn't have anything to get out of a Cataclysm besides his flash. If that's down, he is pretty much dead if there's another person there.
And we've got to do some talking here. The past couple minutes, a little bit more on the quiet end, but Dragon's back up in 1:45, so we're probably going to start seeing some numbers rotating over there, getting that early vision, getting that control. However, Unicorns mostly focused towards the top side of this map, so we'll see if they are here in time, as I'm not seeing a lot of resets here. It's only GKP over on the side of the Dragon, as I believe he's taking the Scuttles right now, so at least they'll have that vision and the movement speed. But yeah, this Ocean Drag, so important for whoever's able to get it this game. Just that extra survivability in those extended team fights and just healing up like an absolute maniac. Yeah, it's pretty strong.
Yeah, and something that I haven't touched on is the CS differences between the other lanes here. There was a rather significant lead for the Corki in the mid lane, which is rather surprising because Anivia is the champion of where if you want to stall a game hold on, we got a fight between Ataxin and Roverai. Roverai might just be dead here, honestly. Doesn't have really the damage to fight this fed Sivir, but it looks like they're just going to back off from each other once the wave more than the fight. Without the spell shield, probably a little bit worried that Roverai could turn it. So,
absolutely.
But as I was saying, it's a little bit surprising because Anivia is one of those champions from the older days of League of Legends where if you want to extend a game to 45, 50 minutes, I don't know if you guys were around in Season 2, Season 3 when CLG EU was around and they played a 73-minute game because Anivia was the mid lane champion.
Yeah, it seems like over the years, players have started to figure out this game a little bit. I don't know if I would fully confirm that from the games that I personally play, but these teams we got here tonight have been looking good all season, and it's Unicorns right now on that Dragon. Glacial Fissure over the Dragon Pit, but two members come with the Blast Code Karthik's in, and they're going to steal the Dragon away. Curtain Call on the backside of this one, as Jin is actually going to be forced off of this. Big fight going down in the pit, and Unicorns winning that fight, but on the other side of this jungle, GKP firing off those rockets. Is he going to be able to find it? Big Glacial Storm here from Benji, but in comes Stone Kit Kat. That's going to be the Seraphine ult that was stolen away. Into egg form he goes, and no, that is going to be a hard-boiled Anivia just splattered all over the jungle there. 4 for O, but it was the Vipers that were able to steal away that Ocean, so Dragons are 2-2 apiece.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty good steal. Unfortunately, they lose 4 members here, so that means the Unicorns, they just get to go straight for this Baron here, and people are just getting back onto the map. Silas has the TP. He's going to go ahead and reset, maybe TP just in case, but this Baron is going down very, very fast. The health bars are low, but this should be a Baron for the Unicorns.
Yeah, they're going to pick that up, and with the lead that they have right now under their belts, up 7k gold, up 16 kills to 4 and 3 towers to 0. They're going to look to do a little bit of sieging, I would think, especially the fact that, you know, looking at this team, the Sivir, the Corki, if they're able to get those two into a lane together, towers are going to be melting away.
Yeah, I usually would agree, but remember what I said about the Anivia being able to stall out games. Despite Baron empowered minions, Anivia still is a champion that can stall out a game very, very well. And now picking up the blue buff is able to rip apart these Baron empowered waves fairly easily. Looks like they're going to split their forces a little bit. You see Jarvan's in the top lane here. Anivia is not going to be in the mid lane here. They're going to have 3 members to stop the push. That should be all it needs. They do have enough wave clear between the 3 of them to stop the wave. As Anivia is going to shove that, it will be pushing into the top lane.
They're looking for something. The Deadly Flourish will land on the Ataxin, but that tier 2 turret is going to be falling down. And now Benji rotating around as they realize the siege on the mid lane is much more serious than they anticipated. However, bot side, GKP is pushing around on there, and that will draw the attention of Roverai down towards him. So he's going to have to move fast. These Barons Up minions are helping him take out this turret. And he's just going to do a little ring around the rosy, I think, with the Mordekaiser.
Yeah, and he might just catch him out here.
Wait a minute. Look at the damage that's coming out. Taken into the Death Realm again as, wow, GKP, the damage coming out of Corki. Pretty damn insane. Losing Roverai is going to be a huge hindrance to the Vipers right now too, but this will be the curtain call used. Little Azure tanking this up for his team. That 4 shot coming through brings him down to about a quarter health. The Stone Cat looking to re-engage. Big Seraphine ult is only going to land on Little Azure. Stone Kit Kat in that Zanya's. However, in comes Jesus. Stone Kit Kat is going godlike right now and attacks and finding another. Unicorns cleaning up these fights back to back to back to back, but it's just Awesome Sheep who will survive that one. Unicorns, another 4 for 1, and they're going to keep pushing with this Baron.
Yeah, looks like they are going to be able to get the inner turret, or the inhibitor turret here. Only one alive is the Seraphine, and the Mordekaiser is up as well, so they need to be a little close. The health bars are rather low.
Yep.
But in the meantime, they are going to go and take the top, or the mid lane, inhibitor turret as well. They're going to take the inhibitor and go to work on this mid lane inhibitor as well.
Double
that is going to be, double inhibs down. Now a very close to a 10,000 gold lead for the side of Unicorns. Really, it's just about execution at this point. If they can execute this right, this game should be ending within the next 2 or 3 minutes.
I mean, Unicorns are just executing objectives left and right. I think their focus this game has been so on point together with pushing these objectives. And I think, especially if we want to rewind to back what we saw a little earlier, where they were able to take Dragon, Herald, and the mid tower, I think that play there gave them so much tempo to get to where they are right now. And yeah, like you said, it's about a 9k gold lead now, so we're just kind of dipping back and forth, especially with those supers pushing into the base of Vipers. They're going to be giving themselves a little bit of gold, but the overall map pressure and control is being very heavily dominated by the Unicorns, so this is going to be hard for Vipers to try and find a footing back into this game, try and find a team fight, because I don't know if they win with the amount of damage that's coming out of GKP and Ataxin at this point in the game. It is very difficult to get a hold of them and also try and look for a fight with them without dying yourself.
Yeah, you look at these score lines here. You got 7-1 Silas. They did finally shut him down. I'm actually curious who did shut down the Silas. It was Seraphine that shut it down, shut the Silas down. They are going to pick up the 3rd Dragon uncontested. Obviously, there are 2 turrets down. Not going to be able to contest anything outside of their base until those inhibitors come back up here. But something I want to draw attention to before, if I don't say when the Unicorns win, because I will never say that the game's over until it's over. So we got a fight here in the top lane.
Yep, Stone Kit Kat going golden to stay alive for a little bit longer. Takes that last turret shot, but the rest of the team are coming around the back for this as well too. Curtain call being popped onto these members of the Unicorns. Are going to be low, but GKP coming out of nowhere with the package too. Look for this fight, look for Awesome Sheet. Taxon is going to find that one as well too, as the rest of the members looking to jump onto Rover Eye. Double kill here for Taxon. What a nice little wrap around there by GKP to start that off, and this just might be the game here. 3 members gone from the side of the Vipers, and 5 members of Unicorn still alive and well, pushing on into this final inhibitor tower as well. They're going to look to pick up the win here, lock in their 4th place spot so far, lock in their playoff spot, and this is going to be such a good feeling for them to know that they can safely say at the end of this night they're heading to playoffs.
Yeah, well, at this point, there are 3 inhibitors down. This game is pretty much wrapped up, as we got another fight going on here. Last shot.
Into the Death Realm and into the Egg Form, as Seraphine Alt is going to rip through these members of the Unicorns. Are the Vipers going to be able to hold on? Karthik is getting lots of shields, but pull back into the fountain. No, not quite. Rover Eye dipping in and out of his fountain. Is it going to be enough? No, just taking out Stone Kick Cat, taking a little bit of that laser beam as the Deadly Flourish comes through. However, this game is done. Unicorns find themselves the win and are locked themselves into playoffs.
All right, now before everybody starts jumping on the Sivir and the Corki and the Silas train, I want you guys to take a very quick look at the score line for Cheeses. 0-0-20.
Wait a minute. Okay, first of all, you didn't die, but 20 assists? This guy was setting up his team for everything you could possibly want.
He was there for 20 out of 27 kills and did not die, did not take a single kill from his laners. He enabled every single one of his lanes, even the doomed lane. It looked like the top lane for this for Rover versus Silas or Stone Kit Kat with the Mordekaiser and Silas. He came up there, changed the face of that fight, and then GKP came up there and made it worse for Rover Eye, and Rover Eye just kept trying and trying, and it was a fail each and every time that he tried. 1-8-0 on the Mordekaiser there. Just couldn't get anything done. Benji not able to get anything done. The 2 people that are usually carrying the Viper squad were shut down entirely, and I think it has to do mainly with this Jarvan and this Braum here. 0-0-20 for the Jarvan, 0-3-20 for the Braum.
Yeah, this is honestly what the Unicorns are really good at doing is enabling each other, and we'll get to that too for the next game because there are a couple other players like that on the Tigers. But yeah, they're really good at helping each other out, and this is what I was saying about the Unicorns finding their footing as a team. They have improved immensely, and this is the results of that, is them being able to take down a first seed team Very convincing. And this is not to say, you know, Vipers were out there making blunders or playing bad. It's just Unicorns didn't let them do anything. They CC'd them for days. They were jumping on them. They were making rotations. They made sure to get Silas ahead. And that's another point, too, is the fact that that focus was put up into the top lane to make sure Rover Eye couldn't get ahead and could become that late game snowballing Mordekaiser. You can even see the damage. He was starting to get there, but not quite. Not quite. So Unicorns do a really good job at ending this one out before it goes too late, and it becomes a little bit of a coin flip with that Mordekaiser in the late game stages. So just really well done by the Unicorns tonight.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and I really have to heart because most of the time those jungles and those supports, they don't get enough love for what they do for these games. Mm-hmm. Usually somebody sees, oh god, 11-1-7, let's give the MVP to that Sivir there, or 9-1-9, this guy was down 100 CS the entire game, let's give it to the Silas there. But none of that happens without Jarvan walking up there, or even though the single kill that Roverai got still put enough pressure on Roverai to have to reset and allows the Silas to free farm pretty much. Because every time they came up there, Roverai is just he goes too aggressive and unfortunately gets caught in the middle of 2 or 3 people and he gets killed. There was one time with the Braum where he got aggressive and he ended up winning that, but that's because it's Mordekaiser versus Braum and underfed Silas. Silas was still down in gold to Roverai at that point in time, which is why Roverai was still a stronger champion. But regardless, you have to give credit where it's due. Mm-hmm. You can't have scorelines like these without somebody making sure you get there.
Yep. And that's why we'll leave it to the folks at home to vote. The Player of the Game poll is now currently open, so make sure to let us know who you think deserves Player of the Game from the Unicorns. As well, we will be announcing our raffle winner that was redeemed earlier. Sir Andros, I saw you redeemed it again, so I guess we're going to do another raffle after this one is announced. So make sure to stick around. We'll announce our winner after this break and then start another one that'll be going on between over the duration of Game 2. So guys, we'll be back in a bit. We will see you back here in 5 minutes, and be ready for another game from the Unicorns.
I remember the days, always at the same place, the same people every day. I will never forget this black old Corvette standing in front of my way. We were both in high school. I thought I was a fool. Oh, when I was falling for you. Daylight is laid to rest beneath all the rubble, and all that runs through my flesh is a spirit of trouble. Under moonlit sky, I'm desperate to feel more alive, alive. Dreams that keep me wide awake, call me up out of the suffocated by sorrow. My bones start to disconnect. My soul becomes.
Hello, and welcome back to week 10 of the LRS Draft. We got a first player of the game, and it's none other than Jesus on that Jarvan going 0-0 and 20. Congratulations, Jesus, on that one. And before we, we'll chat a little bit about this game before we get into the next one. I believe the Tigers are still in. Nope, we got a custom game coming through, so the Tigers might be done. We have to pick ourselves a winner for the raffle for 1,000 points here. It's gonna be a big one here, so let's get that drum roll going. Let's make sure it's if it's Dallas a Dream, I'm gonna cry because they're already over 10k points. So let's see who it's gonna be, and it's the top laner from the Vipers last game. Gonna be Rover Eye coming through as our point winner. Congratulations, Rover Eye. As I'll get those points on over to you in a second. But sorry about that, Dream. You don't get any more tonight. Well, maybe there's gonna be another raffle in a sec.
Oh. And I'm gonna wait for the last 30 seconds to of the stream to redeem a raffle, so you can start one, and I'll be the only one here.
Well, that's 1,000 going on over to Rover Eye, but Sir Andros did select another or redeem another one, so I will get that up and ready to go. So that is open right now. You guys can enter on in our second raffle of the night. Big points given away tonight. Another 1,000 Legends token raffle is up and running. But I believe we're almost ready to go. Just gonna get my other caster in here. Obviously, need you in here. But yeah, big game number 2 coming up as well. As we got, I believe, gotta make it look fancy. Gotta have the teams up here like this. Boom. Unicorns versus Tigers for game number 2. So I believe at this point, Unicorns are locked into playoffs, but they're going up against that 3rd place seed team, which this is probably going to be another playoff match right here because it's 1 versus 2 and 3 versus 4 in the first round. So this is kind of a playoff match, a little preview as to what's going to be happening next week. So I hope you're excited for that, and let's see who's actually on the board for this game here. As I gotta get rid of that
What?
subtext. There we are.
I didn't realize that Taxton and GKP went over to the other side. Huh? Weird.
Yep, they are. They're switching sides, so it is the Unicorns on the blue side for this game. Still with the switch up with. Wait a minute. Where did GKP go? Wait a minute. Who is?
Looks like GKP is going to be out. We're getting Ari Keki.
I think maybe Eric Kessie, maybe. Phil for GKP. Just going to confirm that it is a sub for GKP. But if we're going to look at the lineups here for these teams, Stone Kit Kat up in the top lane again. Jesus in the jungle. And not GKP. We have Ereki. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, which I probably am. But they do have a sub coming in here for game number 2 of the night. So we'll get their names up on the board. Yo. Saying hi to our players here as we're just waiting on the spectator link here, and then we are going to be ready to go ourselves. And very excited to see what is happening in this game as well, too. Unicorns looked really good that first one, but they are up against another strong team right now. So Tigers have been looking good this split as well, too. They were having a couple weeks here and there that was maybe a little shaky, but they're still in third place right now. They're still looking good. And I just want to bring attention to G. Dasic and Rojarunin that I kind of mentioned last game about enablers. And those two players are enablers. They help their teams so much, set up for kind of the scary lanes that we see, especially when Caramel and K Cools get rolling. But a lot of the time we see Rojarunin and G. Dasic kind of setting them up. So interested to see where the rotations are going to be from these guys and what kind of champs we are going to see this game.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And something I would note for all of you guys, if you guys were here the previous 2 weeks, we got to see Spartans in 4 games in a row. They won 3 of them and then got absolutely smacked by Tigers in their final game last week. So Tigers take down a team that's a number 1/number 2 seed, one of the top 2 teams in LRS, and then this week we watch Unicorns take down a number 1/number 2 seed. So now we got the 2 Titan killers playing against each other.
Yes, we do. It's going to be a banger of a game again. That first one, honestly, got to say, had a lot of fun casting that. But we get to see some more action here tonight. We're not done quite yet. We still have a second game to go. So we'll let the players know that we are ready on our end. I've got the spec link ready to go. So we are ready whenever you guys are. You fire it up and we'll get that draft music going so we sound all fancy and stuff here. Do all my little stuff behind the scenes so we can get this show started. But Dream, yeah, lots of...
No blue milks flying across the screen this time around?
No. I'm not BMing tonight. I'm on caster mode. I'm in caster mode, so I gotta be a little professional, but...
You're not BMing tonight. It's funny how BM is blue milk and bad mouthing at the same time.
I know.
Anywho.
Maybe it was planned like that. But we do got the first of bans coming through from the Unicorn, so let's get into it, folks. First game of the night, make sure to double check your tokens before those predictions open. Those will be popping open once teams are logged into the actual client, so you will see the text pop up on your screen when it's good to go. But Unicorns on the blue side this game, so I'm thinking Tigers better be banning that Seraphine away from them. We've seen it from Ataxum, but again, could be flexed into the most likely a mid laner or support or APC. I mean, really, Seraphine can go wherever the hell she wants to. It's so strong. But
yeah, probably not top lane. I don't think I've seen a Seraphine top lane. And look what that first ban is going to be. It's definitely going to be a Seraphine.
Yes.
However, we did see last game Seraphine was the first pick for the Vipers and it did not pan out too well for them. I do think Seraphine is much stronger in the mid lane role than she is in the support role. And as a response, we're going to see the Darius be the first ban away. I had to double check, make sure Hero 39 wasn't playing tonight. And after that, it is going to be the Thresh. There are so many good Thresh players in Legends Esports that I can't keep track of all of them. And I remember G. Dasic is one of those prolific Thresh players, along with Protoga. who swears up and down that he is a Yumi one trick. I do think that he is lying to all of us. Don't believe him if he says that.
I'm curious to see. Actually, this is what I was gonna say. I was gonna expect possibly the Swain pickup here for Little Azure potentially, but that is gonna get banned away. And like you said already, you took the words right out of my mouth. That Thresh is definitely, well, it's extremely dangerous in the hands of G-Dasic. Any engage kind of hook supports are something that they're gonna be looking for. However, that first pickup is the Hecarim, a very, very strong jungler right now. Just extremely good for team fighting and getting to that back line. It's hard to interrupt somebody who's unstoppable, Dream.
Yeah, it's hard to interrupt somebody that is not only going to be unstoppable, but also going to be able to fear anybody that he runs into. So,
it's great.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where even if you flash, if you channeled the full thing, he's probably going to hit you anyways. It is going to be the Sivir pickup for the Tigers here. We did see Unicorns piloting it last game to very deadly effect there, going 11-1 and 3, I believe, on the scoreline. But it is going to go into the hands of Caramel here. Going to be interested to see what they pair it up with. I've seen a few interesting things they paired it up with. The Braum, I've seen the Morgana, I've seen a few other things. I've also seen it go mid lane. So don't really know where this is going yet. Usually you would say, oh look, it's a Sivir that's going AD carry, but after yesterday and last week, I don't know where AD carries play anymore. Apparently they can play wherever they want.
Felio, stop playing. We're looking at you, Candidatin. Love you, buddy. But Galio is the next pickup here, and I think that's a nice little pickup because it can go into the mid or support role. I think it would be nice to have with the Sivir as well too, considering that any engage that comes her way, you have the spell shield from Sivir, and you have the taunt and the E knockout from Galio. So it's a lot of disengage that they have. However, Shen is going to be the next pickup here. That's going to be, I would say, most likely into the hands of Stone KitKat. You already have your jungler, and Shen support at this moment in time, it is just non-existent. It's not very strong. It's not very strong, and if you have to deal with all the poke coming through as a melee, well, we've talked many times this week about the melee and range matchups, how that tends to go for the 4 melee champions. But, I mean, the Stand United is just so damn strong in those team fights, especially if you're ulting onto a Hecarim who's in the back line. That's another just Shen delivery system right there. But Jhin is the next to come up, and that's going to be in the hands of attacks in this game. So, taking a page out of Bonito Soul's book from last game, we get to see the Jhin versus Sivir matchup once more.
Yeah, this time around, it looks like they are going to have options to protect this Jhin. Obviously, if the Tigers go for a Jarvan here, which I don't believe they're going to go to, there are a lot of better options. Jhin definitely has the answers to survive Jarvan collapsing onto him. However, it is going to be a little bit harder to survive if there is a Skarner that can just impale you. Yes, I'm using the ultimate name. It's going to impale you and pull you into the middle of a Galio and a Sivir. Is not going to feel very good for the Jhin. I do think that a QSS, the priority on that item is going higher and higher the more these picks come out.
Yeah, and this is something that that Ronin tends to go for when his Hecarim is taken away, because we've seen since the beginning of the split, Bruce Ronin's Hecarim is pretty filthy. So a Skarner, nice pickup to drag somebody back into those fights, and especially too that you can pair it up with a Galio ult, the hero's entrance to come on down when that Skarner's dragging somebody back. It's well, let's say it's a pretty guaranteed pick if you're deciding to expend those resources to do it. But we're going to see the tail end of these bans coming through. The Yone, the Sylas, all going to be taken away. The Sylas was run by Stone KitKat last game, but I'm surprised they're banning it this game. I mean, yeah, you could still potentially send it mid, but you know what Stone KitKat is going to be running based off what you see up there. But I guess it's more just a safe thing to say. We don't want somebody on the other team having the On the Hunt from the Sivir, the Hero's Entrance from the Galio, the Impale from the Skarner. That would be just, it's too much. It's too many good ults that the Tigers already have lined up that they don't want to see in the hands of the Unicorns.
Yeah, and For the side of Tigers, they are going to round out the bans with the Morgana. Sorry, Gurf, no Morgana for you today.
Sag.
The Morgana, it would be a very good pick to also layer more and more things to protect this gen. Because that's what right now with the Unicorn's composition, that's what this is about. It's protecting this gen so he can do the damage and murder people. He is going to have a little bit of harder time taking down the tanks like the Skarner. Not as much the Galio, because Galio isn't going to be very, very tanky for quite a while. Supports don't really get all that much money. Unfortunately, just despite the repeated buffs, and is P-Clay in the lobby? Because that is a Vladimir pick here.
Shout out to P-Clay and his scary ass Vladimir, but this time it is in the hands of Casey Cools, who I'm gonna go back and see if we've seen any of Casey Cools' Vladimir on.
It could also be Darwin Theory. It could also be Darwin Theory.
Absolutely, could go into the mid lane for Darwin Theory as well too. So we'll have to keep an eye on where that Vlad is gonna end up. But I think that's honestly one of the safer picks, I think, for R4. Kind of smart, because you can't flex that Vladimir either into the mid lane or top. And same thing still. We're not 100% certain where that Galio is headed. However, Nico Nee is going to be locked up here for the Unicorns.
I don't like it. It's Nico is going to be good against the. It is going to be okay into the Skarner and into the Galio. But Nico is not going to have a lot of fun if this is a Vladimir mid lane. And even so, even if it is the Vladimir top lane, it is also a Galio mid. We won't find out until the final pick is picked here.
Could be Nico
if it's a Silver mid,
well.
then it could also be Nico support. We
Nico
have
support.
seen Nico. We have seen Nico support rise, especially in solo queue. Unicorns would have to be very, very bold to do that against a Sivir Galio, because Nico is not the healthiest of champions. If they get jumped on, they usually just kind of die very quickly, and the level 1 damage from the Tigers bot lane is rather high. And they're going to round it out with the Ornn. This actually makes me think that this is going to be a support Shen down in the bot lane with the gen.
I guess so, and I'm not too sure about how that pairs up. It's not personally, I guess this is more a personal thing. Might be something else. They might know something I don't, but right now I personally think Shen is not the best of supports. Yes, he's tanky. Yes, the Stand United is a crucial thing to team fights. But I think in this case, you know, if you're going up against the Galio and the Sivir, all you're going to be doing is dashing away and taunting on your way out. But that's going to be an Alice Janna. It's going to be a Janna for Jay Dysik coming through, which means that Galio is most likely going to end up in the mid lane here. Couple picks we might be a little unsure of, so we'll have to see what happens as they're locked into the client here. And just a reminder, guys, to check your tokens, because once those teams are locked into the client, predictions will be opening up. So make sure to get those ready, as we will be having those bets open on up very, very soon. But let's see where everybody's going to end up here in this game number 2.
Yeah, how I figure it's probably going to be, we are going to have, well, see, I think it's going to be a Shen support, but last season we did see quite a bit. Last season, the season before when he was released, we did see quite a bit of Ornn support as well. Usually actually picked into the Galio. So there is a possibility that is a Gen Ornn bot lane.
You know what? I wouldn't put it past some of these teams doing some crazy stuff here, as I'd like to see the more spicy picks here. And I haven't seen an Ornn in a while, but it is going to be going up into the top lane there for Stone Kit Kat. I mean, you can never go wrong with Ornn. He's tanky as hell. It's going to be hard to deal with. But wondering on the itemization, because you're looking at the team of the Tigers, it's a lot of AP that's coming from them, especially in the form of the Vladimir. Sivir's going to be a lot of the AD, but not too much until you get to late game. So that Ornn itemization in the early game is just going to be pure magic resist, and it's going to make the life of Casey Cools pretty damn tough for the early phase of the game.
Though it is a little bit weirder itemizing magic resist for the Ornn. Usually you see Ornn when he's going against champions like the Darius or the Renekton, he'll usually go Plated Steel Caps, Bramble into Bomby Cinder. But against the AP threats, he kind of has to switch up a little bit, probably going for the Bombies into Merc Treads into the upgraded cloak. I can't remember what it's called exactly.
The Negatron cloak? Is that the one?
Negatron cloak, yeah.
Yeah,
Negatron cloak. Unless they change the name of it like they did with Ninja Tabbies, and I'm completely getting trolled. Yeah, they will always be Ninja Tabbies to us old school players.
I think I was watching, it might have been the LCK, and one of the casters still calls them Ninja Tabbies, so they will forever be Ninja Tabbies in my heart as well, too. But yeah, I'm interested.
Maybe they should just make Ninja Tabbies as a new item with the new effect. That'll get people to stop calling Plated Steel Caps Ninja Tabbies.
There you go. That's how we fix them. Just bring them back. But we got our teams locked in here now, which means predictions are open, so you guys can start putting down your tokens on who you think is going to win game number 2 here tonight. Let us know. Put down those tokens. And yeah, looking at these two teams here, I mean, again, it's a lot of late game scaling. You have an Ornn, you have a Jhin on one side, but looking at the other side, you've got Vladimir, Sivir. All those comps, similar to what we said there in game number 1, tend to come online once they have a couple items under their belt, especially that Vladimir. It tends to be a late game animal. So we gotta keep our eyes again on the late game, or keep our hopes up towards the late game, because I know early and mid might be a little bit slower, especially as we start to see the builds cement themselves in. But I mean, what we're looking at from Tigers is pretty damn safe throughout the early mid. The Janna is going to be great to disengage, to keep anybody from going on to Caramel. So, got to keep our eyes on those gank attempts from Jesus on the bot side, because, I mean, Tornado away, plus the Spell Shield from Caramel, that is going to be a tough lane to gank, so got to keep our eyes on where they decide to go. If actually, looking at all these lanes are not easy to gank for Unicorns.
No, I think the easiest one is the Galio, because the dash can be stopped by any champion or anything in front of him. So if Jesus comes running in at Mach 30 and hits him as the dash is going through, it will knock both of them up, which could allow Nico to get in range, because she does get that bonus movement speed when she creates her clone. And on the other side, it is also kind of hard for Skarner to do ganks, except for maybe the top lane here. Ornn is very prone to getting ganked, but I don't believe Vladimir at early levels is going to have the damage necessary and with the Skarner to actually kill the Ornn. Maybe burn a flash in his TP. But as we're all aware, burst damage champions, unless they don't have a lot of HP, don't do very well in bursting out tanky champions.
Yes.
And this Ornn should be perfectly fine in the top lane. Jhin, Shen are going to be... Jhin, Shen, I see what they did there. Alright, anywho. Is going to be another option for them to gank, but Shen can easily just taunt somebody and then walk away. Very, very easily, and not only that, he can block the Skarner's stun with his W. There we go. Somebody in the set, Jhin. There we go.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, but this is going to be a spicy game. Make sure to keep those predictions in. I want to see where the split is right now. Right now, it is 66% in favor of the Unicorn. So if you got your money on the Tigers right now, you might get a little bit of an extra payout here. But the pot so far is just under 600 tokens. It's a pretty small pot. I think we can put some more in there. Get those predictions in, guys, as we are heading to break.
Yeah, put some more on the Tigers side, guys.
Don't listen to Dream. You bet wherever your heart tells you to. Anyways, guys, we will be back in a few short moments onto the Rift with game number 2 of the night. Unicorns faces Tigers.
There we go.
And yeah, very nice scrambles. Anyways, guys, we'll see you back soon. Predictions will be open up until we hop onto the Rift, but we will be back in a few short moments. So we'll see you real soon.
I saw you smile from across the bar. Yeah, she was pretty and so close but so far. She flipped her hair and I thought this can't be true. How does a man like me get someone like you? And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes. This can't be real, my head's telling me lies. Just like that, you're coming closer to me. Come shake me, grab me, so I wake up from this dream. I can't breathe, come at me. I don't know if I can speak. Then she said, come with me and let's be free. The night is young and I think this could go far. The sky is dark but you're my shooting star. Could see your face reflect upon the moon. It was a pretty summer night in June. And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes. This can't be real, my head's telling me lies. Just like that, you're coming closer to me. Come shake me, grab me, so I wake up from this dream. I can't breathe, come at me. I don't know if I can speak. Then she said, come with me and let's be free.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a blank screen. Actually, the game's here. We're getting into game number 2 of the LRS Draft, week number 10. So it's last week of regular split. This is the last game of the regular split, but what's really interesting about this game is this is most likely what is going to be the matchup of the 3rd and 4th place seeds. So possibly a little preview into what's happening in the playoffs next week. Unfortunately, I don't think the 3rd and 4th place match is streamed. It's going to be 1 and 2 that we get to see. But this is just for you guys, a little preview here, as 2 great teams are going to be duking it out here. And we got to see a win from the Unicorns just a little while ago over the Vipers. So let's see if they can take out another team that is technically seated above them, but I don't think that matters here in these last few weeks. Just a lot of good teams, a lot of good players, and a lot of hype coming towards Legends Esports.
What does this mean for Unicorns if they go 2-0 this week? I believe you talked a little bit about it.
If they go 2-0 and Tigers go 0-2, I believe that would put the Unicorns in their second... no, wait a minute. If Unicorns go 2-0 and Tigers go 0-2, I think Unicorns take the 3rd place spot. But if Tigers go 1-0, I think that brings them to a tiebreaker. I would have to check the head-to-heads between Unicorns and Tigers, because I think last I checked, Unicorns actually had the head-to-head against the Tigers. So if that seeding changes, it would be Unicorns taking that 3rd place spot. But in the end, it doesn't really change too much in what we're going to see in playoff brackets. It would just be Unicorns getting side selection in that first game. Well, games 1, 3, and 5, they would get side selection versus games 2 and 4 if they're able to take that 3rd place seed tonight.
Gotcha. And if that does happen, will we be streaming a rematch like we did with the LRS Draft with the Crusaders and Panthers?
Well, I think if any tiebreakers are going to be streamed tonight, it would be potentially the first place match. Because Vipers would potentially have to go into a tiebreak against the Spartans if Spartans go 2-0 tonight and Vipers go 1-1. So right now, Vipers have already dropped a game. They're at that one loss so far. I'm not too sure how the Spartans are doing over on their end right now, but we'll have to keep an eye out for all those potential scenarios. I'll have to keep my Discord on hand too in case I get any pings just to say, hey, yeah, you fine to do a tiebreak tonight? But either way, these games have been hyped. They've been super fun to cast. Oh boy, G-Dicek already taking some damage in. In goes Lil Azur with the taunt, and that's going to be first blood. I was talking smack about the Shen support earlier, but Lil Azur knows something I don't. Very well played by the Unicorns to start this game off.
Yeah, Janna not really respecting the amount of burst damage that a Jhin can put out, and the taunt, the level 2 strength of that bot lane, as Shen might just be caught out here by the Skarner.
Possibly a little bit of damage coming through into him, but I think he will escape throughout the back end of that pit. And PP Delivery Service actually had a good question there in chat. This is something I was kind of thinking of, but should have said it first. PP just beat me to it. The brambles on the Ornn. I was going to say, while it's, you know, an armor item, it's the Grievous Wound. So I kind of like it, just because any of those autos coming through from KC Cools is going to be applying that Grievous Wounds onto the Vladimir. But yeah, very early brambles coming through for Stone Kit Cat.
Yeah, and that was the empowered Q, and it really didn't heal that much because the Grievous Wounds was still on him there. The Bramble is going to be a good buy at the moment, as Darwin is going to get stopped up a little bit, but it is a Galio. His shield is going to take a lot of the damage there.
I see him with that Corrupting Pot. I don't know if that's maybe a visual bug on my end, but on the scoreboard, I don't see any charges left on it, so if he's already chugged through that Corrupting Pot, he might have to burn a TP early if some chunking happens. So he needs to be a little careful, as that's exactly what we're seeing. The E is not to go in right now. The E is to get out, but another stun is going to alarm. A lot of damage coming down from this Nico. The Ignite as well, too, and the flash away. But is Darwin going to survive? Just a tick of health. He will drop. Another kill going on over to the Unicorns for, oh, I hope he's saying Eric? Let's just call him Eric. That's easy.
Yeah. Yeah, that works. Eric. We're not going to butcher your name on stream. We're just going to call you Eric here. As we do see the Hecarim is hovering there. There is a control ward in the river bush, though. They will see him coming, but usually if you see him coming already, then it might be too late to get out of there. Yeah. This Janna is probably the target for the bot lane here. Sivir is a little bit harder to get onto, but Janna is very, very easy to get onto.
She's squishy. She's very squishy, as most enchanter supports are. But I mean, this is going to be really, really good for the engages that, you know, they might look for. Even in the earlier spots there where we saw the Shen jumping on to G-Dicek there. Having the Monsoon ready and available will just be a big. It's essentially a big no button. Get out of my face.
Yeah, and I really enjoy what the Unicorns bot side is doing. They are trying to slow the push of this wave, so that way when they do push in, there is no way G-Dicek and Caramel can actually go in on this because of how big the wave is. A single W could cost G-Dicek quite a bit of HP.
Yes,
from minions alone.
Minions alone too, but so does that force shot. Could be a little risky. You see Ronan hanging around in this bot lane, but unfortunately, yeah, Taxon and Lilazor are backing Radon off. They haven't seen the Skarner in quite a bit, but up in the top lane, it is going to be the Pop Blossom getting flashed out of by KC Cools and trying to run away. So 3 members actually sent up top to deal with this Vladimir. You're not going to be able to find it, but that means this Ocean is getting started up by the Tigers on the other side of the map. And I don't know if Taxon and Lilazor are going to be able to do too much here. As Darwin Theory rotating down as well too. 4 members here to secure that first one. So Ocean into Mountain. I think that does mean we are going to get a Cloud Soul this game.
I think so as well. I do hope for the Infernal Soul. it's always more entertaining to see that soul on the map. But Cloud Soul is also very useful as the Hecarim steals away the red buff. It is going to run out of there as fast as physically possible.
Oh, fast horse is fast. What can we say? That is kind of the one advantage here that Jesus should be looking for, is the fact that his mobility is definitely going to exceed that of Ronin. So going for those steals, knowing when or keeping an eye on where Ronin is. I mean, it's so crucial to get vision on the jungle and be tracking your enemy jungler. So I think Ronin is definitely going to be gonna have to be careful for what Jesus is planning to do. In fact, especially the fact that we have two very good junglers in this game right now, and two very good champions that they're playing, except one of them just goes really fast.
Yeah, I mean, the Skarner is nobody to sneeze at as far as speed goes, especially if he's on one of his pillars. I do believe the pillar was deactivated by the Hecarim. Otherwise, I do think the Skarner catches him even with the Rampage. I believe that's what his that's what it's called. I'm going to double check. It is Devastating Charge. Okay.
Oh,
Rampage is.
Look at the bot lane though. Curtain Call. G Dicek in some trouble. Has to throw that tornado back to get that Shen off of his tail, but it's gonna force another back out of the side of the Tigers here. So really well done. But Ornhorn being used up in the top lane. Casey cools into the pool to try and stay alive, but this Bramble is really having an impact on the healing that Casey cools is having. But it seems they're bouncing around the map right now because Jesus jumping onto Darwin Theory right now. Is he going to be able to blast cone out? He will send that Hecarim on over, but gets caught up by that Deadly Flourish onslaught of shadows to go on in. But it's Lilo Azura that picks up another kill this game and brought back in by the Impale. Eric almost losing his life there, but able to flash on back to the rest of his team. This is a little bit more intense than I thought it would be this early level, but hey, Unicorns, we saw what they did last game. They were really heavy on making those rotations as a team for objectives. So that's what we're probably going to be seeing again this game. But let's see if they can do it, because there are some good champions over on the side of Tigers this game as well too. However, Stone Kit Kat in this mid lane is going to get himself a play. Wait a minute. Did the caster get bamboozled by the Nico? Yes, he did. Absolutely. I will accept any flame in my DMs.
DMs, I will flame you right here, right now. Come on now. Really? We just saw Ornn take a bad trade in the top lane and have to reset, and then you think Ornn somehow magically appears and gets a play to get mid lane?
I thought he ran lane, but then he turned into Hecarim. I'm like, nope. Caster dumb, flame the NA caster as much as you want, because that's...
Also, the Ornn was bright and sparkly. It's bright and sparkly for us. There's no way that's an Ornn in any world unless they made a Star Guardian Ornn while I haven't been paying attention.
Right, sneaking in some skins into the game, confirmed right now on stream. You see it here first. Head Legends Esports, but my bad, guys. Is just a dumb caster moment as On the Hunt is going to get popped. Stone Kit Kat has not shown up. As wait a minute. We got the real one down here with us. Is KC Cools taking a little bit of that brittle damage. Deadly Flourish going to come out again, but not able to lock out anybody. As it's just a dance of 3v3 down here, but a lot of damage from that Jhin poke. Oh my goodness. But hopefully we can keep track of this Nico here, because I think it's been every game level 1 that I should know by now. I'm like, why is the jungler starting off the mid lane? Oh no, it's a Nico. It's a Nico. I'm just dumb.
So that is going to be the teleports burned from both top laners. However, Ornn start going with the unsealed spellbook, has swapped it over to exhaust. Needs to be a little bit wary if you're the Vladimir there. He no longer have the I thought I saw him use his ultimate in that fight. Is it not on cooldown? Maybe it was just a bug on my screen. I thought I saw him use the ultimate, but the ultimate is still up for him. And we did see Hecarim go to the top lane while all that was happening, and he ends up getting a plating for himself, as we got another gank in the mid lane.
Jesus, Ornhorn popped as well too, and Darwin Theory just going to be shredded apart by all 4 of the Unicorns that were there. Again, showing how strong they can be when they're making those rotations, and have been very good playing together as a team. So They're going to go ahead and start up their first Dragon of the game. This mountain is starting to go down, but they are going to spot out G-Dicek. Pop Awesome coming through, but a little bit of a flash action there to get G-Dicek out. Caramel going to block up that last shot. Is, again, going to force the reset from this Janna again, as this Dragon will get picked up. And actually, interesting, Ocean into Mountain equals Infernal, so we are going to get another very spicy game. Actually, no,
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
the last game was an Ocean, however, Oceans are still very spicy. Didn't even get to see the Soul, though. Game ended a bit too quickly, but and this game is on track to be very much the same. 4-0 in kills, about a 2,000 gold lead, very close to. The Vladimir is up in CS, has a pretty significant lead, about 700 gold there, but the real lead there is in that jungle. The Hecarim having almost 1,000 gold there in difference between the two junglers there, and the mid laner also having a pretty significant difference. We got an engagement topside, not much going to happen though, I do believe. It's just some poke that Ornn is going to put out. It's to be expected that Ornn is going to be losing out in CS against a ranged opponent. He does have enough to go ahead and buy the Merc Treads. The damage will be mitigated a little bit from that, as the Shin is in the mid lane helping push this. Janna is a little bit out of position there, and nobody's going to go and try and punish her. So
stepping up into attacks and though, but that ward is going to get spotted out by the control, just recently put down. I do want to bring attention though that Ataxin already has their Mythic, has the Gale Force locked in, so that is going to be a little bit of extra damage coming out from his side, but we do see Ronin on the side of the map once more, so going to have to watch out for that Impale. However, we have a fight breaking out on the top side of the map. The Hemoplague was popped, but in comes the Ornhorn into the pool. He goes. Stand United is going to be used to get onto Stone Kit Kat. In comes Little Azure, and Stone Kit Kat going to be gifted on over that kill. However, bot side of the map, another big fight coming through. Deadly Flourish used. Here comes the curtain call, but Eric is able to find one onto the Sivir. Force shot will be used. G-Dicek is getting low, and Eric is looking for the chase right now. Using the sweeper to try and get some vision. Able to lock down that Janna. The Deadly Flourish to follow up on it. A little bit more damage will do, but can Ronin get her out? No, he cannot. He will impale Eric back into the range of the turret, but Unicorn's able to pick out another couple members of these Tigers. 7-0 so far in this game, Dream.
yeah, and despite all of the 7 kills there, it's going on to champions that are starting to be worth less and less gold here. Janna's now 0-2. One more death and will be worth significantly less for killing her again. The Galio is already 0-3. He's not worth that much anymore, but on the other side, we're starting to see it again. Unfortunately, this Jhin has become a support, clearly. 0-0-4 in that scoreline. 2-0-2 for the Shin. The Hecarim is 0-0-3, going for that perfect KDA again. And the Nico 4-0-1 seems to be everywhere on this map. You want her top lane, she's there. You want her to help with the gank mid, she's obviously going to be there. She's the mid laner. You want her bot lane, she's going to be there too. So
yeah, I think you read my mind, Dream. A lot of these kills from the Nico have been on good rotation, so Eric has just been, you know, listening to his team, listening to the calls, and be like, hey, we need a Nico up top, or we need a Hecarim up top as Cheese is flying on in. But there's the Onslaught of Shadows. It's going to be the the Rocket Belt, sorry, to try and get him out, as that Vladimir is starting to deal quite a bit of damage now that he has Mythic. It's a little bit of trades going on between Dicek and Ataxin there. And now we get to breathe for a couple seconds as, what, I lied. As Eric looking for some more poke, but that Galio is starting to get a little bit tanky. And interesting enough to see the double Rocket Belts on the side of these Tigers, which means these fights that they're looking for, getting that Vladimir and Galio to initiate them, I think is kind of what they're looking for here. But Vladimir still needs another item or two until he's at that late game, I blow you up in one combo kind of Vladimir.
yeah, Vladimir is still winning out on these engagements here because he's not dying. He's only died once, but that's because they sent 3 people up there. He is still ahead in CS, and he has a pretty healthy lead in the gold. over his lane opponent there. Interested to see what he goes for next. Also, something that I want to note you may have missed in that top lane engagement, the Vladimir actually used the rocket belt to avoid the fear from the Hecarim ulti, which allowed him to get away there.
Smart. That's actually really massive of him, because if he were to get caught there with those 3 members of the Unicorns floating around, that could have been death here. However, first turret is going to get picked. No, not first. Wait a minute. First turret picked up by Shelly. That was a really close one, though. Vladimir coming very. Actually, I have to double check the chat there to see how that went. But Dream, did you catch that there? Who got the first tower?
Let's go ahead and look really quick. It looks like the blue tower was killed first.
So very close there. So Vladimir, Casey Cool's just able to get that first tower.
Yeah, Casey Cool's managed to get it, and then immediately after that was the red turret. So it is a little bit of victory. They do get the first tower there, but they lose another tower and the second.
Let's keep an eye on this jungle, as it is double Hecrims rocking around, but one of them has a Pop Blossom. The onside of Shadows is going to be used as well too. No members quite found here by the Unicorns, and that is 2 major ultis down. However, no big objectives up on the side of the map right now other than a couple turrets, so everyone's just going to back on off.
Yeah, and like I expected, the Merc Treads are finished for the Horn here. Already very tanky, level 11 on that champion, but level 12 for Casey Cools. We gotta keep an eye out on this Vladimir here, because he could be the turning point. It's a 7-0 score lead, as there's a fight in multiple lanes here.
Let's see how many camera angles we can get from here as Ornhorn's coming through. Going to get dodged up by that pool. Casey Cool's going back in with a little bit of damage from that rocket belt. And now we've got junglers rotating over, except this isn't a jungler. This is Eric again, hiding in Nico form. Sand United being used on the Stone Kit Kat to keep him alive. Yes, the Skarner's up here, but Unicorns have the numbers here first. And that TP from the Galio isn't going to mean much, because they can't really re-engage onto that. However, in the bot side of the map, a little bit of being exchanged back and forth. Taxon left by himself after Shen headed up towards the top side, but he seems to be doing quite well on his own down there so far.
Yeah, and I want to bring attention to something really quick here.
How about the TP? We don't have time. We don't have time. They're going back in. The Monsoon is going to be used. And Jesus looking to go again. Curtain Call is being popped. G Dysik is going to get the heal from his ADC, but a Taxon is able to pick off that Janna finally, and it will be the trade kill onto Jesus. Caramel finding one back. As wow, that Hecarim engage. It's fast. As
yeah, he does have the Turbo Ken tank, as we got some tanks going off in here. As he's using the Gale Force to get out.
Ronin's looking for it. Hero's entrance is going to be coming through, but Ronin gets taken out before his teammates can come. Vladimir has joined the fight as well too. Stone Kit Kat is going to be getting low. Lilazur trying to kite back. The heal is there. Pop Blossom not going to land, but Caramel is going to be able to take out Stone Kit Kat. Casey Cools now taken out. Lilazur, this fight is 2-2. Hemoplague has come down on Eric. They go. That's a lot of damage from Casey Cools. That Vladimir, I would say we can say, is safely online at this point now, as Tigers find a win in that fight.
Yeah, you saw what they did there. They split the fight out, so that way they were fighting 2 members at a time. You saw the Sivir go and chase off the Ornn, so Ornn couldn't really be a face tank. And then you saw the Galio and the Vladimir chase down the Hecarim and the Shen. After killing off Nico very quickly, and Jin didn't have the health or the mana to really fight that, so you saw him just kind of throwing pot shots where he could, but he doesn't really have the damage to burn through these tanks. And the moment Vladimir got in range to ult both of them, it was kind of just a wash from there.
He might now, considering that he's got a collector, but still, getting through all that that health and armor is not going to be the easiest thing to do. So I think you got to be careful with these fights that you take, and really make sure to keep that Jhin alive, because a lot of damage is going to be coming from this Jhin this game. But you still have to watch out for the Nico and the Hecarim as well. They are, you know, by no means weak champions. They are pretty damn strong. As let's keep an eye on this bottom half of the map, as Dragon is up in 30. about 35 seconds at this point here, and we're going to start to see some bodies floating around this pit.
Yeah, and something else I want to mention here is the Vladimir has his ultimate back up, and he picked up Cosmic Drive as I just heard the Nico ultimate go off.
We saw it. We won't say anything about it. Just a little short on that. And Eric knows, giving us a couple giggles there on the Nico. Oh man.
Look at they're giving pressure over this dragon here. They may just give it. They do still have a lot of options. Onslaught Shadows, the Call of the Forge God is still available. The Shen Stand United and the Curtain Call are also still available here. So there is still a chance for a fight.
He's looking to go in. Curtain Call is going to be popped as well too. And all these members of Tiger still hiding around the backside of this fight. Horn is going to be used as in goes Hecarim onto these members. Onslaught of Shadows to use Big Monsoon. But Hero's entrance from Darwin Theory's shutdown is going to be going on over to Ronan. He's going to find the double kill as well too. Tigers find the fight and a triple kill for Roge Ronan. I don't know if he's done because he's looking for one more on to Eric. Trying to drag him back, but the CC from the Nico underneath the tower. He's going to go gold. You have to get out, Ronan. This is too much. What are you doing? No, Ronan, you had it. You were safe. You could have just had your triple, but he was thirsting for that quadrant, and he's going to pay for it. But his team is able to secure that Infernal Drake, which puts both these teams at 2 Drakes apiece.
Yeah, and that shutdown does go to Nico there, giving up a triple kill shutdown on literally the most fed member of the Unicorns team. Now, the moment that this Nico hits the Pop Blossom, I believe that's the name of her ultimate. Yep. Yes, the Pop Blossom. The moment she does hit it on that on people, she has the Rabadon's Death Cap and she has the Rocket Belt. So the damage that she's going to have is going to hurt quite a bit the moment she lands on it. But you saw in that fight, what ended up happening was the Vladimir got a massive ultimate off on the entire backline of the Unicorns there, and Ataxton just kind of vanished. His health bar was full, and then he got ulted, and then lost all of his health from 1Q. As Jesus goes ahead and takes the settle there.
Ronan was trying to steal it away, but unfortunately, that is going to be a smite down for the next little while. Luckily, though, no dragons up for the next 3.5 minutes, so he is going to be fine on that. But looking at these teams, this is a very even game. 2 towers apiece, 2 dragons apiece. Yeah, the kill's a little bit in favor of the Unicorns right now, but the gold is only 500 away. So this is a very close game for both these teams, and a very important one too. Which is, you know what? If this is going to be one of the playoff brackets, this is just showing us how close these teams are. Our 3rd and 4th seed, respectively, between 4th and 3rd seed, if we're looking at across the top of our scoreboard there. But 2 solid teams. They've been playing well. A lot of good back and forth, I think, from either side this game. But let's see what they're able to do with the gold, especially where it's at. Where the gold is allocated is, I think, the most important part. And a lot of it is in the hands of this Nico right now. So, like you were saying earlier, if that Pop Blossom is able to find somebody in these fights, that is going to be so detrimental to the Tigers and could turn an entire team fight around.
Yeah, she just has to be able to land it on KC Cools, honestly. He is the flip side of the coin, definitely the strongest member for the side of the Tigers here. The moment he gets a multi-man ultimate and is able to get to that back line, the fight is over. Same thing if Eric can get to the back line there. Yes, the Sivir can avoid it, but if you force her to burn that spell shield and Sivir manages and the Pop Blossom hits her, her health bar is going to go bye-bye very, very quickly. As you see, they are going to take the blue buff for the Vladimir there. They're not going to take this mid lane tower, however, as they are trying to posture around this Baron. Yep. Nico does not have teleport and is sitting in the bot lane trying to shove that wave. Perhaps sending Ornn down there would probably be the smarter choice. She can do fine against the Vladimir, honestly. Don't need to have her in the bot lane as she is going to do another bamboozle here. And there are 3 Hecarims that were on the map for a second.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, I think you should be watching for those bamboozle moments if we want to deem it that. Because I mean, you see me get bamboozled, but I think that's kind of what you're looking for when you're setting up for a Nico ult, is to kind of set yourself to be invisible there for a moment, sneak your way into a fight or into the center of a team fight, and get the pop blossom off. So I'd like to see if Eric can execute something like that for his team. However, Darwin Theory caught out in between these bushes here, but he's pretty tanky, so he's going to be surviving for a little bit longer. Big plop blossom there, but not onto anybody in particular. As Darwin Theory goes golden, and the Impale onto Jesus, dragging back in. He's going to get taken out by Caramel, and now Unicorns are on the run. Little Zero trying to get away. The bouncing blades here from Ribbon as the call, the Forge God coming through. Blocked by that spell shield, and Unicorns are still getting chased down. Tigers doing a ton of damage, and now you got even more damage from the Tigers as Casey Cools has joined. However, this means that tower is going to be going down in the mid lane. That opens up the game and the map quite a lot here for the Tigers, as they're looking to set up for their 3rd and sole point of the game.
And you got to be a little bit worried here if you're the Unicorns. That was a 4v5 through and through, and you lost 2 members. Vladimir, the strongest member of the enemy team, wasn't even in that fight. You have to be worried if you're the Unicorns. You need to... These pop blossoms are missing every single time. You need to be able to land those, because if you don't, it's just a lost fight. And we haven't seen a good pop blossom from the Nico. We did praise her in the early game.
Oh, let's see. Fight's breaking around this dragon. It's going to start healing back up as... Ooh, Stone Kit Kat gonna be going down. This dragon is just under 100 health. It will be secured there by the Tigers. That puts him at sole point, but look at KC Cool is looking to go in again. Big Pop Blossom. Is it gonna be able to land this time? Followed up by the heroic entrance. This is an absolute bloodbath here as Unicorns get shredded apart. A 4-for-0 in favor of the Tigers, plus a dragon, plus a Baron. This is exactly what we saw the Unicorns do to Vipers last game, and it's being handed back right to them this game by the Tigers.
Yeah, and they possibly could have turned that around, but the Hecarim actually knocked the Vladimir out of the Pop Blossom.
No, we were trying to land one. Oh, darn. I know. It was, honestly, that was probably one of the more chaotic fights we've seen so far in this game, as if all of them haven't been. But now we see junglers chasing after each other, 2 speedy boys running around the jungle. And luckily, Cheese is going to have the speed to get out of there. But he's the only one who really has that speed. The Jhin, yeah, you have the Gale Force to escape those short moments, but Skarner's going to keep running at you. And I think that's a great pick. If Skarner's able to pick up either the Nico or the Jhin in these fights, it's really ridiculous.
Yeah, and now we're looking at the gold lead here, and now there are 2 members that are that have more gold than this Nico. Is the sole proprietor of somebody, or is the sole proprietor of having the most gold on their team right now? Just barely, though. The Jhin actually has close to that. He does have close to the most farm in the game. He does by 1 CS. But now it is both the Sivir and the Vladimir that have crested over that 12,000 gold mark and are now ahead of both the 2 strongest members on the side of Unicorn.
Just
it's going to start being a...
We're past that 30-minute mark. So when we were talking about these late game builds coming online for Tigers in the form of that Vladimir and Sivir you were just talking about, this is it. We're at that point. Right now, they've got their items, they've got their lead, and now they've got a Baron buff that they're pushing in this mid lane with. They're going to find that tier 2 tower as well. Looking to maybe continue the siege, maybe send some numbers elsewhere, as Unicorns have numbers here in this mid lane to protect, as everyone from the Tigers just heading up towards that top side, take out the tier 2 tower up there, put a little bit more gold in their pockets as they're just extending this lead that they're creating with the Baron buff power play right now. But Casey Cools, buddy, which don't blink, guys.
I think he was
oh my god,
he might have been disconnected there for a second there, because he kind of just stood there while Vladimir just killed him.
That is unfortunate. Maybe we see a pause coming through in a little bit, but Casey Cool is looking to go. Oh my! Attacks are just dead. Attacks are just dead. He gets jumped on. He gets blown up. The Hemo Plague as well too. Attacks and accepts his fate he will go down in front of his own inhibitor, and that inhibitor will also drop beside him as Super's going to be coming into the space, but Darwin Theory trying to tank up this. He is going to get hit by that Plot Blossom. Here comes the Horn through as well, too. His Unicorn's getting shredded once again. Oh, no, this is not what you want to see. Caramel goes in with the Gale Force. Finds one, finds two, finds a third for the triple kill. And Tiger's going to use the remaining tail end of their Baron buff to go ahead and finish this game off. Eric pushed back into tower, but these members of Tiger so damn strong. Oh, my God. Vladimir just went into the fountain, came on out, surviving that one. But all 5 members of the Tigers here to close this one out, to go on to the Unicorns Nexus. This game is all over now. The Tigers find themselves a win.
Yeah, and that was an unofficial quadra there. I think Jen was running out to try and give the Penta, but not going to happen there. Game ends too fast, and it is going to be a victory for the Tigers. Rip my 69 points. Oh well. I'm pretty sure I earned it back by just existing anyway, so.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, that game started out very, very well for the Unicorns, but the side of Tigers are just like, I got this. Don't worry. And then Vladimir just kind of showed up at these team fights and just absolutely decimated people. But once again, the Sivir scoreline 9-1-6 is great, but you look over at the damage charts here, and it tells a different story. Yes, 9-1 is great, but that's still, what is that? How much damage is that?
On the Vladimir, 28k, almost 29k.
Yeah, and you saw what he did to that Jhin, and that right before that final fight, he flashed, EQ'd, ulted, and Jhin, or I think it was just a flash ult E. And that was it. And Jhin just kind of stood there and accepted his fate. He wasn't going to heal. Even though he had it up, he didn't have anything to defend against it. It was just over.
It seems like my league is maybe not cooperating with me, but we still got the graphs up here. And yeah, we just got to say, like you said, can say it better. Unicorns having a nice, strong early game, but it's Tigers that end up coming back. We were talking about those scaling champs, the Vladimir and the Sivir being those big champions that we were looking for in the late game. And, well, our predictions came true as Tigers find themselves a win. So Unicorns at 1-1 overall in the night. I still think they're fine in terms of playoffs. But Tigers cementing in their 3rd place spot. So this is going to be a repeat match here in playoffs, but it is a best of 5 between these two. So we'll get to, I don't know if we'll get to see them on stream, but we will have a rematch of these two teams as we go into playoffs next week. So that is very exciting that we get a little preview into that. But that was a close game. That was close back and forth up until probably the last few minutes where it was just, oh my God, the damage coming out of Vlad was kind of undeniable. You saw there, even an Ataxin just accepted his fate there with the Hemo Plague ticking down. Just like, well, nothing I can do about this one.
Yeah. This is entirely unrelated, but everybody go send your condolences to Canatin. He got murdered level 1 with the 5-man cheese in their game earlier today.
No. Oh no.
They waited inside of one of the top lane bushes and then just all ran at him. Flashes to kill him. So everybody go ahead and just F in the chat for Canatin there.
Oh,
gotta feel bad for him.
That's rough, buddy. Definitely rough on that one. But we are going to be hopping to break. So once I get this player of the game poll up and running, we'll have that ready for you guys. So go ahead and let us know who you think deserves player of the game from that first one, as that poll is live. And when we come back after break, we'll be announcing our second token raffle winner of the night. So make sure to stick around for after the break to see who is walking away with another 1,000 Legends tokens. But guys, we'll be right back in a few moments. We will see you very soon.
Clouds are stirring up the sky. I was always in denial of what I saw right in front of me. And every time I'm so damn lost to what I loved and what I lost. But let's get lost in love tonight. Hear a second voice inside my head, it's telling me to say the night again and hold on to the words we always said would be forever, forever. Wait another day to clear my thoughts, so jump into a love that won't be forgotten. Forever, forever, let's run away together. Let's run away together. Let's run away together. I wanna run away with you. Let's run away together. Let's run away. Let's run away together. Let's run away. Swear we'd never say goodbye. Fall asleep to lullabies with something that I thought I'd never find. And what is right and what is wrong, and all I ever saw was love. But let's get lost in love tonight. Hear a second voice inside my head, it's telling me to say the night again and hold on to the words we always said would be forever, forever. Wait another day to clear my thoughts, so jump into a love that won't be forgotten. Forever, forever, let's run away together. Let's run away together. Let's run away together. Let's run away together. Wait another day to clear my thoughts, so jump into a love that won't be forgotten. Forever, forever, let's run away together.
How could you ever love me? You don't even see me. I'm hanging around, wasting time, hoping that you'll drop by. And I don't pretend to know what you want. I don't even know where to start, but I'm willing to try. Even if you push me under, it's only gonna make me stronger. It's only gonna feed my hunger. Say the words, say the words. Even if the tide stops turning, even if the world keeps burning, nothing's gonna stop this feeling. Say the words, say the words.
Alrighty, we're back and hopefully only playing one track of music at a time. But we got our second player of the game, this time from the Tigers, Casey Cools, on the Vladimir, going 5-3-8. Congratulations, Casey Cools, on that one. I mean, a lot of great stuff from the Tigers tonight. They did have a little bit of a rough early start to that game, but they pulled it together in the end. And like I was saying, those enablers on the team were definitely stepping up to, well, enable their team. Take a look at Rose Rinnan's line as well as G Disick, right? 10 assists for the Skarner, 14 assists for that Janna. So they're putting in some good work to help their team out and really get them ahead in that bot lane as well too. We saw the 9-kill Sivir, so it's great synergy from these teams, Dream, if you're still with me there.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Trying to keep it cool because that video is something.
Yeah, I just watched the Canatin clip as well too. That's oh, I'm so sorry, Ken. It's pretty XD though. Anyways, any final thoughts on these games that we got to see here tonight, Dream?
If that's a prelude to those two teams in playoffs, I wish that was a game games that I got to see.
Yep. So most likely from where we're ending up after tonight is that we are going to see the Spartans versus the Vipers there in the first bracket, or Vipers Spartans in that order, depending on how the matchups went for Spartans tonight. And the Tigers versus Unicorns in the other half of the bracket. So the loser of 1-2 will play the winner of 3-4. And then the winner of that match will head to finals. Whoever wins between 1 and 2 also heads to finals on that side. But you will see the bracket posted very soon later on. Well, probably in the next few days. I don't want us to give an exact date, but it should be coming out soon on our Instagram, on our Twitter, on our Discord as well too. So make sure to keep an eye out for that, as we will be probably talking about these playoffs a little bit this weekend on the next episode of Let's Talk Legends, because I'm excited for this one. Even though it is a smaller league, it's a little bit more intimate, so it's been nice getting to know these players.
And all these teams are not very not very different in far scale and team play as well, because last week and this week we saw two teams that were not really expected to lose, but they were the underdogs going in. Absolutely dominate against the top two teams in the league, and then we see the two Titan killers themselves. One of them gets off to a very good early start, only to get absolutely decimated by the 1v9 Vladimir.
Yep, Vlad was strong. I don't know if I'd say by late game, the 1v9 was there. It was Casey Cools initiating. Well, let's reel back. When the Vladimir walked up, everybody should have walked back, but that's why we saw the Shen get blown up so fast. That's why Ataxin got blown up immediately once the Hemoplague was available to him. But I think it was definitely a team effort to get the Vlad to the point where he was able to do the 1v5s in those fights. So it was really well done by the Tigers. But I think you bring up a good point too. These top 4 teams that we're seeing going into playoffs here for LRS Draft are close. There's a lot of good back and forth between these teams. I think we're going to have a very tight playoff run for any one of 4 of these teams. So I'm really excited for next week when we start to see these teams play each other in the best of 5 series, and seeing what kind of results are going to happen, because anything can happen, as we've said in playoffs, but I think it's a lot more up in the air when we see the closeness of these teams, of where they've come from at week 1 in the split to where we are now at week 10, and now we have 4 super strong teams that are able to really take games off each other. So it's gonna make for a spicy playoff stream.
Yeah, I do believe that am I going to be casting the Monday and pretty much Monday through Thursday at this point, or
as long as your vocal cords can handle it? Yeah.
As long as I have water to spare, I can handle it.
Well, that is going to round out the night for us, so we do get to rest our vocal cords until you're back again with us tomorrow night, Dream, for the start of the LAS pre-made playoffs. So we are going to get to see Turn Up Tots facing off against Return of the Middle Six, so make sure to be back here again tomorrow night, but 7 p.m. EST start, so make sure you are there just 1 hour early, as playoffs do start that extra hour, just so we can fit in those best of 5, so no one's up till 2 a.m. in the morning casting. But...
Yeah, well, we went to a best of 5 yesterday, and we were up till midnight. I can't imagine how it would have been an extra hour, probably 1 a.m. when those games finally ended for me. So,
yeah, it's
if we started at 8 o'clock like normal. So,
yep. And as we are closing out, we do have one final raffle. So I will give you last little few stragglers another 15 seconds to enter into the raffle. All you have to do is use command raffle, but we are going to be picking a winner in a few short seconds. So make sure to get on into this raffle. But that will do it for us tonight. So I want to thank everybody at home tuning in. I want to thank our fellow caster, or my fellow caster, Dream, for joining me on the desk tonight, buddy. It was an absolute blast casting these games tonight.
Yeah, and go ahead and take a look at the chat really quick.
Yes, we got Jesus there in chat there. Not enough E's in the Twitch name. I think it needs a few more E's, but
Talking about right above it.
right above it. Yes. Wait. Yes.
I redeemed another token
It's
wrap.
cut off on there. Oh God, he's in another one. Oh, well, that one we'll have to save for another one. But the shout out, who just did you also? No one recruit that. So I'll refund you for those tokens because we're doing one more just to end the night out. But
Okay.
I'll refund you those points. So you save them for Friday when I'm back on the desk again. So guys, that redemption there for the token raffles will be available Tuesdays and Fridays when your boy Gurf is on the stream. So make sure to be using those channel points. But we do have a raffle that we need to pick a winner from. So that is going to be selected now. If you're not in the raffle right now, you have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that is going to be it. It was open all of game 2, so really, at this point, we got to pick a winner here to close the night off. So let's see it. Drum roll, please, Dream. And our winner for another 1,000 tokens is going to be Little Crackling. Great Twitch name. That's fun. But congratulations, Little Crackling. You're going to get your points added in. No, Dream, you don't get another 1,000 points. You have enough. But
no, I don't, because Dallas is on my tails.
This is true. This is true. So let's get those points added on over to Little Crackling, as that will round out the stream here for us tonight. Congratulations, Little Crackling, and congratulations to our two teams taking those victories tonight. But next week will be playoffs, and we got loads more streams this week, so make sure to keep an eye on the schedule on our Discord and all those Instagram posts that come out with the stats and standings if you want to keep up with those. But for LRS Draft regular split, we are done. We can put a bookmark in. Well, not a bookmark. We'll close the chapter on regular split and open up a new one for playoffs next week. Very much looking forward to that. But that'll do it from us here tonight. Have a wonderful evening, guys. Gurf signing out, and Dream signing out as well too. We'll see
Have a
you
good
later.
night, guys. I will see you tomorrow.
Catch you later, guys. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe. Stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow night. Bye. Mwah.
I saw you smile from across the bar. Yeah, she was pretty and so close but so far. She flipped her hair and I thought this can't be true. How does a man like me get someone like you? And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes. This can't be real, my head's telling me lies. Just like them, you're coming closer to me. Come shake me, grab me, so I wake up from this dream. I can't breathe, come at me. I don't know if I can speak. Then she said, come with me and let's be free. Let's be free. The night is young and I think this could go far. The sky is dark but you're my shooting star. Could see her face reflect upon the moon. It was a pretty summer night in June. And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes. This can't be real, my head's telling me lies.